News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Jubilee and Sun City radios, Saboba FM Saboba, A1 Radio Bolgatanga, and get radio, TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. This morning, you're barred from speaking at political events. Chief Justice tells judges and their staff.
As for political activity, is a no-no. A judge cannot go to a political forum.
Details as she cautions them against their activities on social media. Also, Ghana Health Service directs all hospitals to recall doctors on leave with other healthcare givers running extended shifts as nationwide strike by physician assistants bites hard at facilities across the country.
We need police protection, but how sure are we? We don't trust the police. When the attack came on the 13th of January, the police even promised that they will give us full protection. They've done it for about 2 days. They couldn't come again.
We apologize for that wrong insight. We'll also hear from the physician assistants as they give strongest indication of escalating their industrial action to press home demands for proposed amendments that restricts them from prescribing medicine in business.
Fitch affirms Ghana's rating at restrictive default following International Monetary Fund deal, adding the country's agreement with official creditor committee will be reached by the end of 2023. We've got details on the Joy Business Report.
And as we approach the NPP Super Delegates Congress, presidential hopeful Dr. Owusu-Efiri Yakoto says the level of despondency in the NPP requires a deep-rooted party loyalist to restore hope and break the eight.
Everywhere you go, everywhere you go, we are in very serious problem, especially now, as we all know, we're in an economic crisis. So morale is not very high.
We have a special report. I'm Amisi Nyamche Thompson. Stay for details. This morning, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu is warning judges and their staff to be circumspect in the activities of the bench as it tells on the integrity of the judicial service. According to her, a judge or staff cannot be seen disrespecting the ethics of their profession and pretending that their private lives are separate from their professional duties. Speaking at the 7th Annual Legal Ethics Training Program organized by the Africa Center for Law and Ethics in collaboration with the Gimpa Faculty of Law, Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokonu revealed that contrary to recent development, judges are barred from attending or speaking at political forums.
Then, as for political activity, is a no-no. A judge cannot go to a political forum or deliver a speech in a political forum or comment on a political matter because there must be separation of powers. It violates the Latimer House principles, it violates the Bangalore principles of judicial conduct, and it violates our national constitution.
She also says that a judge's behavior on social media reflects on the adherence or otherwise to the ethics governing justice delivery in Ghana, indicating that anyone with interest to work in the service must conform.
And by extension, the conduct of those who work with us on social media. The liking and the subscribing now, it must utterly cease, or you have to be extremely careful about what you are liking and what you are subscribing to and what you are commenting on, because it's prescribed by the ethical conduct. And then when somebody has behaved in a certain way, we say we cannot call the person to the bar. I was surprised at the furor that rose up concerning the call to the bar of certain people. For you to come into our space and to come into the space of the legal sector, your conduct cannot be obscene and offensive, and you expect that you'll be admitted. It doesn't work like that.
Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu there. Now the Ghana Health Service has directed all health facilities to recall doctors on leave and review the working schedule of other healthcare givers to fill the vacuum created by the physician assistant strike. The physician assistants are demanding that the Health Ministry withdraws a proposed amendment to Act 857 of the Professionals Bodies Act, which, according to them, takes away the rights to prescribe medicine. But their strike is taking a toll on healthcare. The Ministry of Health says it has rolled out a number of measures to mitigate the impact. Isaac Ofeba is the Public Relations Officer of the ministry.
Even though we need them and even though we engage in them, Ghana Health Service, our agencies have been able to fill the gap that we are assuring the general public there wouldn't be any cause of calling doctors who are currently on leave, those that have to do with maybe the shifting system where one will have to increase the number of working hours and all that. All those arrangements are done, and some of them we don't want to put them in the public domain.
But the president of the Graduate Physician Assistants, Anthony Asari Akon, says the association says they intend escalating the action to right the injustice that is being meted out to them.
So we are intensifying it at every single places where there is deficit. All that we are trying to say is that there has been a wrong news, or there has been a false propagation of what PAs do. And this is what we are seeing. Now, we cannot break that physician-patient ratio. I have stated in some of my previous interviews before that.
Still on industrial actions, leadership of the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, has declared an indefinite strike effective today, August 1. Their unanimous decision is to prevail on the government to redeem its promise and implement the negotiated conditions of service. Emmanuel Bright Kweku was at the association's National Delegates Conference in Kumasi and has filed this report.
Payment of 1 month's salary to each member of CTAG as compensation for additional duty performed in the year 2022 as ordered by the NLC. 3. Publication of the report of the staff audit and subsequent extension of public universities' rate of allowances to deserving members of CTAG per the NLC's arbitral award order. 4. Immediate release of leave roster by each college of education to enable each tutor take 15 working days leave for the year 2022 as ordered by the NLC.
And you heard spokesperson for the Colleges of Education Teachers Association. Now, independent power producers have sent a firm message vowing not to accept any attempt to restructure the debts owed to them by the government. The accumulated debt totaling $2.3 billion as of July this year has raised concerns among the members who are now reacting to Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's recent statement about engaging them for potential debt restructuring. Meanwhile, the trading community has expressed disappointment with the content of the mid-year budget review. Michael Ashali has more.
Currently, IPPs are being engaged to restructure their accrued outstanding balances and eliminate payment shortfalls and arrears accrual in the sector.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on the floor of Parliament hinted at plans to restructure accrued outstanding balances as part of a raft of decisions taken by government for some interim economic respite. CEO of the Independent Power Producers, Dr. Elikplim Apetogbo, says they are opposed to that move.
To restructure our debt is not acceptable. Actually, our cost of service for that matter cannot be restructured. To the best of my knowledge, what we are doing is renegotiating and not debt restructure negotiation.
Additionally, Ken Ofori-Atta said the country was now on the path of recovery after they implemented a number of stringent and effective fiscal measures.
The economy is showing signs of recovery. The exchange rate has stabilized. Inflation has softened. Mr. Speaker, we have turned the corner.
Minority Leader Ato Forson disagrees with him.
Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, the evidence and the numbers before us shows that he has rather deepened our woes.
The trading community as well say they are not impressed with the statement read by the minister.
Cost of doing business so is going to be the same. It's going to go high.
Seriously speaking, we've not really had a major transformation, no.
Despite the reaction of Ghanaians, Ken Ofori-Atta is asking all and sundry to support government. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
And let's do some politics. Former Food and Agriculture Minister Dr. Usrefi Yakoto says the level of despondency in the grassroots of the NPP requires a deep-rooted loyalist to restore hope and break the eight. There's more.
According to Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto, only a strong, formidable and united front can guarantee electoral victory in the 2024 general elections for the MPP. But he says the current state of the MPP epitomizes despondency and hopelessness due to the neglect of the grassroots.
Two things. One is discipline. Two is their situation. Because everywhere you go, everywhere you go. So for me, we need to fix this party.
He's assuring delegates of the party that he will work assiduously to ensure that their welfare is improved when voted to bear the flag of the UP tradition.
We have a lot of contracts. Government is the biggest business giver in this country. And if the military can have companies to do business, why can't political parties?
For 6 years, Dr. Owusu Afriyie-Akoto led the agricultural revolution under the Planting for Food and Jobs. According to him, Ghana will need a new innovative business model to do things differently if the country is to succeed in diversifying its agriculture. The model, he said, should be driven by government structure, supply chain logistics and market access, support for big data and technology for evidence-based decision-making, research and development. But above all, he said...
And that's Elton Broby with that report, and that ends our bulletin for this morning. In our top story, you're barred from speaking at political events. A warning from the Chief Justice to judges and staff. Up next is business.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's Rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa! Oh, Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Omani. Chairman. Hey, Chairman! Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Okay. If I leave work now, I can beat traffic, get takeaways for dinner with the girls, and be on time to pick up Sam and his mom from the hospital. Proud to belong to ABSA.
We know that life is go, 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 and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. That's why with ABSA's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who is important to you. Get things done simply with our digital channels. That's Africanacity, that's ABSA.
It's time to go beyond what your traditional financial apps can do. Introducing Cowry, the only digital financial app you will ever need. Experience Cowry, the way to pay. Send. Move your money in quick, easy steps at the best rates on the market. Buy. Top up your airtime and data twice as fast as you normally do. Pay. Step out of the cash queue. Pay for any product or service when you need to. Enjoy it faster. And now, manage. Experience a new way of managing your money. Understand how and when your money moves. You can rely on Cowry every day. Download Cowry from your Google Play Store or App Store. Experience Cowry, the way to pay.
Charlie, that be the sound you hear when things make hot. I'm sure this is not battery, just cash flow. Laja no day. It is safe to say we are all facing challenging times. We are all wondering how we are going to lighten our financial burdens. Nowhere cool, but don't worry. With a little help from your trusted bank, Societe Generale Ghana, be fine. Societe Generale Ghana is making all its customers happy with the Yatiso Loans promo. In fact, SG Ghana customers and even non-customers who are on the controller and accountant general payroll can enjoy access to our amazing discounted loans. Don't waste time. Get your loan today. Step into a branch or call 0302-214-314 to get the ball rolling. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, promotion ends on 7th August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana. The future is you.
You worry. Just be happy. Don't you worry.
Pay attention, all my Africans and African Americans in the diaspora, plus my white brothers and sisters. What if I told y'all the most trusted real estate company in Ghana, Sukasa, would like to take y'all on a nationwide tour, highlighting prime real estate and investment opportunities. Sukasa builds affordable luxury homes with 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Come get the real value for your money, plus they have very convenient payment policies with 100% guaranteed cash back. This fully gated or grants and communities include malls, cinemas, and all social amenities, plus 24-hour security. All you gotta do is sign up for the tour for a measly couple $1,000 and come see what could be yours in real life. The African dream is alive. Contact Sukasa on 030-296-0865 or 055-369-7886 at Sukasa GH on all social media platforms. Email info@sukasa.com.gh. The Sukasa experience is also bringing on board a bunch of other property developers, which means patrons get a variety of options to buy from. This is powered by Government of Ghana, Beyond the Return Secretariat, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Works and Housing, Diaspora Affairs, the Office of the President, British High Commission, and the UK Chamber of Commerce. Media partners, Joy FM, City FM, Peace FM, Business and Financial Times, Graphic Online, and many more. Sukasa, building on trust.
Come with me.
Yeah, Charlie.
Morning. I'm good.
Yeah. So, Mr. Oforiatta says we've turned the corner. Have you
doubt that?
Oh no, I'm just checking with my friends if we have all turned the same corner. Have you turned the corner?
Have I turned the corner?
Corner.
It is well. I guess that the point he was trying to make was that we've reached a critical point where things will start to improve, and so it's a turn. Yeah. So,
okay.
and yesterday he had to inspire hope, and I think that was, one of the ways he wanted to inspire hope. Although the minority is not so impressed about this. So, for instance, yesterday the minority leader, Kwasi Atofo, raised issues about his comment about turning the corner, saying that, well, you say we've turned the corner, but you're revising economic growth from 2.8% to 1.5%. You borrowed 5.5 billion cedis from January to June from the T-bills market, and you're going to borrow another 41 billion Ghana cedis. And so, how do you mean when you say that we've turned the corner?
Ebia in reverse. I don't know, me, Charlie.
In reverse. I wonder how you do the turn in reverse, but but those are also salient points, and so. Did he just say to make us feel hopeful, or that's the reality on the ground? And the challenge is that most Ghanaians do not feel that they are turning the corner. If you ask them, they feel that things are not as good as they want it to be.
He also said this.
In global prices, we will therefore undertake a downward review of the oil-related revenue as well as the corresponding expenditures to align with the underperformance of some of our revenue handles. The appropriation has been revised from Ghana cedis 227.7 billion to 206.0 billion Ghana cedis.
That show seems like a reverse.
I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying.
Although I'm still wondering, how do you turn a reverse? I don't know. It's just
it sounds like something Michael Jackson would do, some kind of moonwalk, and then Nezebu Kev. Charlie, we'll figure it out, with all the numbers in front of us.
I guess so.
During the show. Another thing we're going to do this morning is quite important. People haven't quite cottoned on to this Niger coup and how crucial it is. It changes a number of things suddenly.
Yeah.
Right. Already now, there was this whole anti-French sentiment brewing among a few countries. There have been some coups in Burkina Faso, Mali, right? Now Niger. But besides that, the whole East and West chess game that has been happening in Africa, this has suddenly created the opportunity for one of them to make a big chess move.
Yeah, and I hear something to do with Russia, the Niger coup is like the coup plotters, is that what they are called? They want Russia in and the French out. And so
And already Prigozhin, who leads
the Wagner Group.
Yes, the Russian mercenaries. He's already congratulated them on the coup.
I saw
he says
that as well.
If they need help restoring order, he's their man.
Wow.
You know, and now that Niger is the 7th largest producer of uranium in the world.
Wow.
Uranium, which is used for nuclear power, for curing cancer, and of course for making bombs that can destroy the world at the push of one button.
I didn't know that.
Ah, yes. 7th largest. So the thing is not.
So I understand the interest right now.
Thank you.
Aside from the fact that onion prices are also going to go up, and there's going to be a shortage.
That's a headache. That's a headache in itself. But look, let's not pretend that this doesn't affect us.
It does.
Look, Niger is not far. You travel up into Burkina Faso, you turn right, you keep going, you cross the border, you're in Niger. That's Niger. It's just up here, no. And the Russians are already in Burkina Faso. Right?
Yeah.
So you can't understate the impact this can have on our own security.
Exactly.
When it starts going plenty and ECOWAS doesn't have a handle on it.
Anyway. Except to issue threats and all of that.
Anyway, we'll get into all that later today. We'll understand it a bit more. But the 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. Don't forget, Total produces the quartz engine oil with age resistance technology. This breakthrough will ensure optimal performance of your engine and protect it against mechanical wear by up to 74%, even under extreme temperatures and pressure. So listen, choose Quartz from Total Energies because that's the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. Quartz keep your engine younger for longer. Time now for the Joy Business Report, brought to you by Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Report. It's live on Joy 99.7 FM, also on KT Radio in Koforidua. Coming up this morning, Fitch affirms Ghana's rating at restrictive default following International Monetary Fund deal, adding the country's agreement with official creditor committee will be reached by the end of 2023. Also coming up, Finance Ministry begins process to restructure pension funds worth 31 billion Ghana cedis in final phase of domestic debt exchange program, and businesses and individuals urged not to be too expectant as business climate will remain unchanged. We hear from the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry as well as the Association of Ghana Industries. Do stay tuned. My name is Darryl Kwao. Thanks for being with us this morning. Ratings agency Fitch has affirmed Ghana's credit rating at restrictive default. The rating is coming after the country received an International Monetary Fund support program in May, unlocking the fund's board approval for a $3 billion 3-year extended credit facility. Here's more in this report.
Fitch downgraded Ghana's rating to restrictive default from C on 21st February 2023, following the expiration of the grace period for a missed Eurobond coupon payment. According to the rating agency, the country has since made progress with official creditors for a restructuring of its external debts under the G20 Common Framework. It said authorities are looking to restructure $20 billion of external debt, including official bilateral debt, Eurobonds, among others. It continued that financing assurances have been provided by the Official Creditor Committee at its first meeting on 12 May, unlocking the IMF board approval for a $3 billion 3-year extended credit facility. Fitch therefore expects the committee to reach an agreement with the government by the end of 2023 and a treatment of private creditors' claims on comparable terms by mid-2024. The IMF estimates the financing from external debt restructuring must amount to $10.5 billion between 2023 and 2026.
That was a Business Desk report. Now, government has begun the process to restructure the country's pension funds worth 31 billion cedis. It is therefore inviting holders of these bonds to exchange it for a new set of government papers. Here's George Jaffe with more.
The Finance Ministry, in a statement, noted that the invitation is intended to enable pension funds to preserve what government describes as their patrimonial value, whilst exchanging eligible bonds for papers that offer more potential liquidity. The offer is targeted at pension funds that have been invested in Government of Ghana bonds, the ESLA PLC, and the Dachi Trust PLC. The offer, which started from yesterday, is however expected to end on the 18th of this month. However, the Ministry of Finance maintains that it may extend the offer subject to how the exercise goes. Government earlier this year announced that it has reached an agreement with the public sector workers on how it should handle their pension funds going forward. However, it is not clear for now whether all the various unions are on board with respect to these proposals the government has tabled in its fresh debt exchange program for the pension funds.
George, I feel with that report. Meanwhile, the Ghana Cocoa Board has revised the deadline for the debt exchange program for cocoa bills to Thursday, August 3. That's because Friday is a public holiday. Therefore, persons willing to exchange their bills have until August 3 to do so. Now, government has given assurance it will be prudent with its expenditure for the rest of the year to stabilize the economy. This is after Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta announced 21 billion cedi cut in total spending for the next half of the year. Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah tells Joy businesses may come with some challenges, but government is still committed to implementing these measures to turn things around.
We have to live by our word. If we say that we would ensure that we do not go out of the deficit constraints that we have imposed upon ourselves, we have to do well to ensure that we live by it, because if we don't and we engage in any more fiscal slippages, not only will the relative stability that we have now elude us, but we'll be putting ourselves in some jeopardy moving forward.
That was Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. More from the media budget review. The government says it is expecting some positive results from most of the economic policies undertaken to stabilize the economy. Presenting the media budget review in Parliament, the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta said Ghana will soon produce more domestic goods to replace imported ones. Here's more.
In updating Parliament on the policy measures implemented so far in the 2023 budget and fiscal year, Mr. Ofori-Atta assured that efforts are being made to stabilize the economy. According to him, many of the policies will begin to yield results soon.
We are determined to continue down that path. Soon, we expect the measures taken resulting in economic activity greater than anything experienced in the history of the Fourth Republic. Our plans and programs should soon lead to a sustained increase in domestic production, including manufacturing and farming, replacing many of the products that we are used to importing.
The Finance Minister also hinted of plans to collaborate with the private sector to ensure a friendly business environment to attract both local and foreign investors.
Develop the framework for the V20 Climate Prosperity Plan to attract climate investments from the private sector, and initiated the Mutual Prosperity Dialogue to crowd in domestic and external private investment to underpin our growth strategy.
Despite challenges faced with revenue mobilization, government has decided to stay away from requesting for more funds. However, the minister announced a reduction in appropriation from 227.7 billion cedis to 206 billion cedis.
Ebenezer Sabute's report read to you. Well, do not be too expectant in the coming days, as the business climate is not going to change. This is indication from the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. According to the chamber, the media budget did not inspire hope for the private sector, hence the cost of doing business is going to be the same. Here's Chief Executive of the chamber, Mark Bedu-Abuaje.
If policy rate still remains at 30% and translating into a high cost of borrowing, if constantly we are going to see tariffs, reduced tariffs and other tariffs going up, as stated in the IMF document, we haven't seen the COVID tax being removed. We still see all these taxes around. Then definitely businesses will also react. Those that cannot absorb will definitely push some of these costs to consumers. So as I said, for me, it's just a rhetoric. Didn't see anything much as we were expecting, that at least there will be some sort of clear direction on how they are going to move the business environment.
Meanwhile, the Association of Ghana Industries has expressed concern the media budget failed to address high taxes affecting the private sector. Greater Accra Chairman Chonam Akpelo says local businesses wanted a review in some taxes.
we do not necessarily expect much in terms of new taxes and so on. But what we do expect is a review of most of the taxes that have been slapped on industry downwards. Because, as we mentioned in our previous communications, these taxes are affecting our businesses in a big way. And if you listen carefully to the finance minister, he keeps on talking about industry and the growth of industry and how private sector should grow. And our belief is that the only way private sector will grow is when we receive the necessary incentives, tax reliefs, and all of this to be able to grow.
Well, also, former finance minister said Tekwe is advising government to be very careful ahead of the International Monetary Fund's second review in September. He warns that the nature of the media budget shows the government may not again meet its revenue target in the next half of the year, seen in the first half of 2023. Speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Tekwe said government's inability to go to the international market to borrow also makes the situation dire.
Because all your revenue, I can bet, between now and the end of the year, given that we don't have the assets, to borrow from the bond market, domestic and external market, but get something from only multilaterals, basically, which will be substantive. It means that you are not in a position yet, to even borrow to support those initiatives in the next 1 year. And remember, there is a cap. There's a cap, as we had 500 million annually commercial borrowing. That's all you can do for commercial borrowing, with the exception of, the soft ones like the World Bank and the IMF, African Development Bank, which flow in. Otherwise, if you want to do something substantive, you have to go and get a waiver, from the IMF board.
That's former finance minister Seth Tekwe. You're listening to the Joy Business Report on Investor Eye today. Always be careful when providing sensitive information about yourself or bank account details online. Scammers could be phishing and you could be a victim. Let's listen to the head of technical, ICT and digital forensic at the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Aman Kwata.
Fraudsters employed various means to deceive people in recent times. Here are some common fraudulent tactics. Instead, to be cautious. 1. Phishing. Scammers may send emails, messages, or even create fake websites resembling legitimate organizations to trick individuals into providing their personal or financial information. Be wary of providing sensitive data without verifying the authenticity of the source. Never click on suspicious link or provide personal information unless you are sure about the legitimacy of the website or sender.
Head of Technical and ICT Digital Forensic at the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Aman Kwata there. Before we go, let's check the markets for you. On the currency market this morning, the dollar going for 11 cedis 61 pesos. That's on the Forex or retail market. The pound going for 15 cedis 10 pesos. The euro going for 12 cedis 73 pesos. Why is Marvin looking at the screen? So, also on the commodity market, crude oil selling at $85 a barrel. Gold lost more than $6 to open trading at $1,958 an ounce. Cocoa, however, went up by $23 to open trading at $3,548 a ton. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. I guess she was wondering, am I really turning the corner?
Her oil money be hashing. We understand, Mama B. Anyway, listen, this song is for all of you whose corners are not turning. Joe Metal with Turning Around. Song there, brought to us by Duraplast Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes, as well as water tank. Where Duraplast goes, water flows.
And our Drive Safe campaign is brought to you by Joy News and Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Superior Quality. Avoid all distractions, especially when you're turning that corner. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. Drive safe.
Let's now learn how to say it right, brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done. You say either, I say either.
Well, the finance minister says we have turned the corner. Bless his heart, whether you agree or disagree with him, at the very least, we can all agree that the word is corner and not kana. I do hear people say kana quite often, but the word is spelled C-O-R-N-E-R, corner. It is the point where two lines meet, corner. So, whether or not our economy is getting better, the one thing we can all agree on is we have finally turned the corner on how to say it right. All right, listen, what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the headlines, and then we're going to spend a bit of time trying to figure out what's happening in Niger. Now, this is important, okay? I'll explain why Niger is a place that, as Ghanaians, we should be keeping our eye on with the recent coup, what implications it could have on us, okay? But maybe we'll go through the headlines very quickly first, before we also have Professor Kwesi Ening join us with some insights on what's happening in West Africa and Niger. So, news review now brought to you by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different, and Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough.
All right, Daily Guide newspaper reporting this morning. Pius Hajide contest Essojaman NPP seats. We're back to business. Ken as minority cries foul. Court stops Cassius mining. NPP names polling stations ahead of the special delegates conference. A Hunter West MP denies resigning. That's all in the Daily Guide newspaper this morning.
Well, the Daily Graphic for today: Ghana elected to World Tourism Organization Executive Council, mid-year budget review, economy shows signs of recovery according to the finance minister, and new GDP target signals decline. That's the minority $300 million dispute. Court places injunction on mining firm. We've talked about that, Cassius Mining. And ENI Ghana Partners gives scholarship to 1,000 students, and communications minister commissions rural telephony sites in northern Ghana.
All right, to the final now. 2023 GDP growth revised to 1.5%. Headline inflation pegged at 31.3%. Government focus on the environment that encourages investment, fosters entrepreneurship. Comes with a picture of the information minister. UK government supports Ghana with £3.9 million to sanitize small-scale mining. And Venture Capital Trust Fund blows 1.7 million Ghana cedis on CEO's residence, but it is not occupied in 4 years.
Wow. And the Economy Times: cost of credit to rise steadily, and BOG exposure, stock and bonds undergo 50% haircuts.
Wow. All right, listen, we're going to get a bit of insight as to why we should all be bothered about Niger. But first, let me try and situate Niger in our minds, okay? It's, they call it the Republic of Niger. That's the official name of it. It's a landlocked West African country. It's just to the northeast of Ghana. So if you think about it, if you travel up north into Burkina Faso, and then you turn right, travel east, you go across the Burkina border, and you are in Niger. Okay, it's a big country. It's about 5.5 times the size of Ghana, but the population is about the same. Okay, well, they even have a little fewer people than Ghana. So they have about 25.3 million people, while we have over 30 million. Okay, so all the people in Niger, almost all of them, are located along the southern border. 4/5 of the country is desert. It's only the southern 1/5 that is savannah, and that's where people live. Now, this country, it's shaped like a fish. Okay, if you can imagine a fish on your plate, right, with the head facing 1 o'clock and the tail facing 7 o'clock. Okay, that's about the shape of Niger. It has 7 countries bordering it. So starting from the fish head, you have Libya. Then you come down to Chad. We're going clockwise. Chad. Then Nigeria, which takes up most of the southern border. Then Benin. Then Burkina Faso. Then then Mali. Then Algeria. Okay, 7 countries. Now, we're going to try and understand why this country having a coup suddenly changes a lot for global politics, not just African politics, and why Ghana should be concerned. Right. Professor Kwesi Enin joins us on the phone right now. I just want to say good morning to you, Prof. Thank you so much for making the time to join us.
It's a great pleasure.
All right. Now, just before I bring in Prof, a couple more details about Niger, just so that we understand the country and its, its current situation. So, it's 99% Muslim, okay, but 63% of Nigerians are illiterate. 75% of them are under the age of 25. Okay, and 21 million out of the 25.3 million of them don't have access to electricity. Right. They are one of the poorest countries in the world. In fact, they are currently they have been placed last on the Human Development Index by UNDP, and they have the most fertile woman in the world. Their total fertility rate is 7 children to 1 woman. So this is a country that is growing and getting poorer.
Right.
And now there's a coup. And they are the 7th largest producers of uranium in the world. So lots of interesting situations that can create problems. Prof. Enin has an eye, a big eye on the whole global situation as pertains to Niger and why Ghana should be concerned. Prof, we're happy to be educated on this.
I'm not too sure whether people will be happy with me after I have finished speaking. Because I think I've told you before, and I've also told Samson on Newsfile about my projections for which countries will have a coup d'etat, and when those coup d'etats will happen, and the implications for stability in West Africa and the Sahel. So, I don't want to be an angel of doom, but the projections and the forecasting does not look good. But I will be patient and listen to your questions and hopefully try and respond.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we know that Niger is the 7th largest producer of uranium in the world, even though they are a poor country. So, as you can imagine, that has brought the attention of many developed countries. Several of them have military missions in Niger, and it has suddenly turned into a battleground for East versus West, with Russia combating Western forces to gain control and favor in this country. What are the implications of this? Bearing in mind, so many of their neighboring countries have had coups, and Boko Haram is just growing stronger and stronger in many of the countries that border Niger.
Well, Niger historically is known as the frying pan of West Africa. High tensions, prickly, highly combustible, depending on how we mix the indices. I'm happy you started with Niger's provision of uranium and the geopolitics or the geopolitical importance of Niger right now. The uranium that Niger produces or sits on provides electricity to almost 80% of the people of France. For Niger only has access to provide 1% to the people of Niger. There are about 6 or 7 major European countries present in Niger. France with huge air bases, the US with the largest drone base on this continent. The Turkish army is providing training. The Czech Republic is there. And therein lies the interesting part. If all these countries were in Niger and they were supposed to be partners, what kind of partnership is it that allows them to do what suits their national interest but overlooks the democratic imperatives and the democratic interests of the Republic of Niger? This raises concerns about the quality, the provision, and the implementation of security force assistance. Now, when you partner a country, and that partnership is driven by a one-sided interest that does not look at what that country or your partner needs, then that is bad. That is bad partnership. And because of this interest-driven partnership, we see that the U.S. is not describing what has taken place as a coup, that it is just a little misunderstanding. Because if were they to describe it as a coup, it means they wouldn't be able to have access to the drone base. Number 2, the French Foreign Ministry and the Defense Ministry, when the borders were closed, flouted Niger's airspace and still landed their jets at their airbase. Madame Colonna, the foreign minister, speaks about Niger as if it is still a colony, heightening tensions. China has put in about 4.6 billion in uranium and oil and gas and building the longest oil pipeline to the coast from Niger. Mr. Prigozhin, that we thought had gotten lost, appeared in St. Petersburg during the Russia-Africa summit and has given indications of his interpretation of the happenings in Niamey. Now, when the Wagner disturbances took place, it was elevated from a mercenary group to a formal part of the Russian armed forces. So that changes what the Wagner group is. Yesterday, Burkina Faso and Mali issued a joint statement of their preparedness to provide brotherly support to Niger within the context of Pan-Africanism. So suddenly, the contours of what started as a struggle between two men, the former president Issoufou and the just ousted president Bazoum. When President Issoufou served his 2 terms and the elections took place, Bazoum inherited all the security chiefs that Issoufou left. And there's been this very subtle power play between the 2 men. Bazoum's decision to stamp his authority on the government and the security institutions by moving Issoufou's man, General Chiani, is what triggered this coup. So the partners misconstrued, or Niger's partners didn't seem to understand the undercurrents that have been bubbling. So what is the signal that this sends to the rest of the sub-region? One, that we need to understand the structural underpinnings of the democratic processes and how we can turn democracy or use democracy as a vehicle to deliver public service goods, not least security, jobs, education, blah, 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 blah. The second is that our multilateral institutions must help member states who have voluntarily signed on to the normative frameworks, the protocols against corruption, rule of law, human rights, the democratic processes, constitutional rule, to strengthen these processes and make them more inclusive. But even more importantly, to shift from this automaticity that says we will wait until you flout the rules and we will dust off the sanctions and apply them. And rather, I would argue, start a process of incremental responses and engagement where if it's about corruption, they will step in and say, look, these are the indices. Be careful. Look, when the media is under controlled, when the opposition is being controlled, like what is happening in Senegal, so there are multiple ways that we can prevent what is happening in Niger from happening elsewhere. The question is, do we have the backbone to be interested or to do proactive intervention, preventing states from slipping? But these are very interesting times. So I'm watching.
Prof, I want us to draw a direct line to Ghana. You've mentioned Wagner and how they are growing in the sub-region. Mali, when they had their coup, they threw out the French troops and brought in Wagner. Burkina Faso, in fact, our president, Akufo-Addo, was at the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit in October last year, and he reported Burkina Faso to the American authorities, telling them that they have employed Wagner and they are paying them by allocating a gold mine or some other mine in the southern part of the country to them, which means Wagner is on Ghana's border. ECOWAS have responded strangely to Niger's situation by threatening military action and giving an ultimatum. We didn't see that with Burkina Faso, we didn't see that with Mali. But they are baring their teeth at Niger. Is this the right way to go? And how does it affect Ghana?
Well, ECOWAS's bearing of teeth. That is what I term as the automaticity. Depending on how strong a particular country is, there are different types of interventions, sanctions, and threats. So we see in Gambia, there was an actual intervention to try to prevent President Jammeh from hanging on to power. In the Niger case, ECOWAS's robust response relates to, of course, a new president in Nigeria who is the new chair of ECOWAS and wants to demonstrate the capacity of the institutions, to deliver on its mandate. What does it mean for Ghana? Ghana has, over the last couple of years, sought to bring a new intervention approach that is proactive. So you may have heard of the Accra Initiative that seeks to combine both the military and the developmental approaches and building trust and engagement with communities so that the issues around information, proactive response, early warning, building resilience in communities becomes a hands-on, inclusive process. Now, in the last couple of months, I've certainly traveled around the borders of Ghana and played a key role in the UNDP report that has just been released. There are vulnerabilities, but precisely because of the community engagement, the sensitization. Okay? In my close to 2,500 kilometers of travel, I didn't get a sense of desperation, of fear. But there's also a dangerous universalizing narrative that says the terrorists are coming. One certainly doesn't get that sense when one travels around the border areas. There's a certain sensitivity and hands-on approach that I find very reassuring. But I've also come from some of our neighboring countries just about a little less than 7 days ago. And I like the question about the 7 countries that border Niger. Look, the nature of insecurities in West Africa and the Sahel are so intertwined that we cannot understand one country's insecurities without looking at the larger map, the road networks, the informal routes, the nature of transnational organized crime, the smuggling of cattle, petrol, human beings, pangolin, to fund small arms, to fund the violence that we are seeing. So if you take, let's say, Burkina Faso, for the sake of the conversation, the cattle market at Fada in Nkrumah serves almost all countries in the Sahel and West Africa. So cattle rustling has become one of the major drivers of this conflict. We are seeing the gold that comes out of illegal small-scale mining sites. Highly valuable, easy to hide. We are seeing the smuggling of fertilizer. So, I mean, if one takes Ghana for example, there are 21 smuggling routes, okay, along our borders into both Burkina Faso and Togo.
21 of them.
Pardon?
21.
21.
Prof,
Okay,
forgive me just a moment, just before you continue, if you don't mind. I just wanted to announce to our audience, we're talking about Niger. We're talking about how it affects Ghana, the whole sub-region, the powder keg of potential conflict that could be caused by any of the numerous factors Prof is educating us on. We have to announce that the BBC News will resume tomorrow because we have to continue this conversation. So we're skipping the BBC News today. We're staying with Prof Kwesi Ening so that we can understand this matter in all its detail. Prof, forgive my interruption, but you were saying 21 routes.
Yes. So if you take Ghana, for example, so we are a very peaceful country. We have a good neighborliness foreign policy. But the people who seek to undermine and threaten this country are also desperate in ensuring that they get access, they get all the access to anything at all that can be used, to create violence. So in the present research that I am doing, when one traces these 21 routes in which fertilizer is smuggled, okay, those who engage in the smuggling know the price disparities in fertilizer in Burkina Faso and in Togo, so that they know when to ship these goods to one particular area. We're also looking across across the sub-region of really sophisticated forms of gun smuggling. So if you take the Togolese case, for example, and you look at the price disparities, and I've mentioned petrol. So in the northern parts of Togo, where the violence is taking place right now, petrol is selling for 10,000 CFA a liter, as against 750 CFA. Okay, so the criminal networks that are crisscrossing the whole of the sub-region are using smartphones to identify where they can turn a quick profit. And of course, across the sub-region, we see levels of collusion between state or officials. My final point, look, if I were in your studio and we put a map of Niger coming to Nigeria, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Benin, you would notice that the distances are not that huge. And that because they are also forest cover, crossing national boundaries, it creates an opportunity for these groups, to be located, to hide, and to go about their business. So the conclusion that this fairly recent study that hopefully I will submit next week tells us, first, is that there is a direct and positive correlation between the availability of small arms and then, crime.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Ablekuma case, the murder of the police officer in the bullion van, one of the people was arrested in Togo with a crime gun at a marketplace. Okay, so things that happen in Niger, Ghana, Togo, Benin, La Côte d'Ivoire, northeastern Nigeria are all intertwined. So now we don't need to look at northern Togo, northern Burkina Faso, or southern Burkina Faso, northern Benin, and the borders of Ghana in isolation. No, we need to ask ourselves, what are the interconnections and the interlinkages when the planting for food and jobs says we have lost X number of thousands of tons of fertilizer. Where does the fertilizer go? What is it used for? So in Togo, for example, in the northern part, we are looking at what is termed as complex attacks. Complex attacks are where these fertilizers have been turned into IEDs, in which the attacks are made using guns. The IEDs have been placed, and as the troops seek to escape, they are blown apart. So no one country is safe, and therein lies the utility and the importance of the Accra initiative. But the structural underpinnings driving insecurity in the Sahel can be found in every single West African country.
Yeah. Prof, when you think about Niger, in fact, those people, they are quite unfortunate. I mean, apart from being one of the poorest countries in the world, 4/5 of their landmass is desert. But every country surrounding them, there's Wahala. You go to Libya, they have unrest there. They've had for several years now. You come to Chad, they are battling Boko Haram. In 2020, Boko Haram killed 90 soldiers in the Chad military. You come down to the south, Nigeria, the whole of the north of Nigeria, which borders Niger, is, overrun with Boko Haram. You come into Benin, you go to Burkina Faso, you go to Mali, coups and unrest in each of these countries. It's like there is no border of Niger that wouldn't cross you over into a conflict. So now that they themselves have become the victims of a coup, if you will, is this completing a full block? Are we now seeing a complete change of the state of stability on our map? And can we predict which country will be next?
Well, I think I can fairly predict which country is going to be next, but I'm not going to say. Because if Niger comes onto the news file agenda on Saturday and were to be invited, the first thing Samson will say is that you please don't come and tell us that there's going to be another coup and don't tell us where. Because all my predictions have come true.
Yeah.
But is this the biggest challenge that we are facing? Or somebody is driving the narrative for us? Just give me 1 minute to place something within the public conversation so that we locate this properly.
Sure.
So how do we explain the violence that we are seeing? And is it really touching lives the way we are being made to think about? So West Africa is now characterized as the new frontier of violent extremism. The EU External Affairs boss, Joseph Borrell, says terrorism is spreading and that, quote, terrorists are seeking to establish a presence in Togo as part of a broader recruitment drive. And that in 3 years, the region has suffered more than 5,300 terror-related attacks, claiming 16,000 lives. If you disaggregate these figures, what it means is that over the last 3 years, 14.6 terrorist-related deaths occur daily. And 4.8 terrorist-related attacks occur daily. The Timbuktu Institute claims that terrorists want to get over to reach the coast, with Togo, northern Ghana, and Benin, quote, becoming ideal staging grounds for jihadists. But this raises a little bit of a question. If we compare the figures to road transport accidents over the same period involving all those countries, road transport accident figures from the World Health Organization is more than 600 times the terrorist-related deaths. So it raises a fundamental question. Why are we focusing on the deaths related to violent extremism much more to road transportation deaths? Okay, so all I'm saying is that, yes, terrorism sows fear, it drives away investments, but probably there's a more insidious, more dangerous threat to our livelihoods and our stability than terror. And then we need to broaden the conversation a little bit. Okay, there are more questions about the figures that we have and the narrative about the terrorists are coming than the figures and the facts.
Prof, it sounds to me like you're saying quite clearly that it's just Eastern and Western forces seeking to create an image of unrest to justify their presence in the region.
My data certainly does point so, yes.
Right. Should Ghana be worried?
I think we have taken the steps. So if you look at the new UNDP report on vulnerabilities in the 5 northern regions, I think Ghana's interventions are very clear. And then the suggestions are very clear. So the report makes a very simple, no-cost suggestion. Translate the slogan, see something, say something, into all the major languages along the boundaries. That's number one. Number two, build better border security relations amongst villages that crisscross the international boundaries. Improve the quality of life by providing seeds, fertilizer, water pumps, so there's round the year dry season farming. Preventing these interventions is about partnership. Using a language that ordinary people in their communities understand. That together we prevent and then we build. And I think that is where Ghana has been fairly successful. But also that, let me admit this though, that if you take the fertilizer case, so loads of fertilizer going out. If you take Accra Dollar Power, for example, we are not too sure about the quantity of gold that is mined, who are the actors who buy them, how does it get out of the country, what is it used for. We also know that there are leakages from quite a number of the mines. So that report really puts its finger on where Ghana's vulnerabilities are and what ought to be done. But I think so far, my assessment is that we are fairly safe.
Right. Well, on that comforting note, Prof, I want to say a big thank you for spending a big chunk of your morning with us and bringing us up to speed on this West African situation emanating from Niger and surrounding countries. Prof, we'll be talking more about this, I have no doubt. Until then, have a wonderful morning and God bless.
Thank you very much.
Professor Kwesi Ening is Director of the Faculty of Academic Affairs and Research at the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. And I guess now we're up to date. Let's take a break.
We cry for peace.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Run 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Run 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Energy.
Whether I'm passing by the food market, visiting the salon, or filling up my tank for a spontaneous adventure with old friends in a new city, when asked, cash or card, it's always card for me. I switched from cash to card for all my payments with MasterCard. Now I get to do what I enjoy with ease.
Switch from cash to card for all your payments with MasterCard. MasterCard, the secure and convenient way to pay.
No matter your water needs, Sintex has it all. Sintex tank was first to introduce double layer tank, and now you can have as many layers as you want. Sintex tank was first to introduce white inner layer tanks in Ghana, and now introduces the customer specs order, which will let you order any color and size you want. Sintex tanks gives you the biggest warranty of 7 years, which no other tank gives you. So whatever your water consumption, size of project, or demand, choose Sintex tank. Sintex tank, stress-free. Sintex tank, reliable. Sintex tank, maximum guarantee. Call 0244 335 168, Kumasi 0505 555 666, or visit sintexgh.com. Sintex tank, a strong, a tough.
Reserve your executive premium plot at Dodua Hills today, located near Dodua Fire Service, and enjoy secured gated community living with swag, with facilities such as electricity, shopping center, gym and fitness center, tarred road network, and many more. Just pay your negotiable deposit for the Dodua Hills premium plot and spread the balance within an agreed period of time to own your executive hilltop property today. Please call us now on 0540-633-569 or visit our website on www.doduahillsgh.com for further details. Dodua Hills, your peace of mind, our priority.
Management of the National Service Scheme has begun processing prospective service personnel for deployment for the 2023-2024 service year. This year's deployment is private sector driven. Private institutions are therefore encouraged to submit more requests for service personnel. Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies, ministries, departments and agencies, and all those interested in hosting service personnel in the 2023-2024 service year are also encouraged to put in formal requests to the Secretariat. The request must be submitted on official letterhead with official addresses, email, phone numbers, and location of the organizations. User agencies are to indicate the number of personnel required and specify the desired academic or professional qualifications. Agencies with special needs are advised to contact the NSS Secretariat for discussions. All requests must reach the National Service Secretariat before Friday, August 11, 2023. National Service, service to the nation.
The search for a distinctive university to attend is now over. I introduce you to Heritage Christian College, located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, affiliated to KNUST and UCC, and accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
The university offers Bachelor of Business Administration programs with options in accounting with computing, marketing, accounting, human resource management, business information technology management, entrepreneurship and technology innovation, Bachelor of Science courses in information technology and information security, nursing, and a Bachelor of Theology. We offer student entrepreneurship training with financial support.
The entry qualifications include WASI, SSCE, GBCE, HND, and diploma in relevant fields. Mature entrants can also come if they are 25 years and above.
We also offer 12-month Master of Science programs in accounting and taxation, accounting and finance, and human resource management.
Contact us on 0547 777 731.
Heritage Christian College, a university educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
He's up bright and early, serving your premium morning radio show. The Morning Man. It's the Morning Man, Kojo Yankson.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Selected roads in Second D and Takoradi Phase 1 is a fifth of the way complete. Tema Flower Road is 30%. In Samawa Fanko, 26%. Reconstruction of Bechimen, Techimentia, Akomadan Road, 64% complete. Phase 2 of Obechabili, Lamte Circle Interchange and other ancillary works, 86% complete.
Is that what turning the corner sounds like?
No, well, when it comes to turning the corner, he's talked about inflation, he's talked about the stabilization. Well, of course, people have raised concerns about the fact that you projected an 18.9% end-of-year inflation. Now, that has been increased to 31%, or more than 50% increase in the rate of inflation. You promised a growth rate of 2.8% that has been reduced to 1.5%. Is that what is supposed to be your turning the corner? Oh, turn the corner. It's a discussion we will have, and most importantly, I guess the reality is how people feel.
So ultimately the reverse and so turn the corner.
Well, I mean,
so can I ask our listeners? If you're listening right now, has your corner 10?
Has your corner 10? Use the hashtag JoySMS. Talk to us. All right. Now, you notice that because we were talking about Niger, we had to skip a few things on the show. We didn't bring you the online review, which is normally brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
So what do you do when you run out of fuel in your vehicle? Do you just top up anywhere? Don't do that. Let's introduce you to the Good Energy family and why you must be part. Goyle's Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP are the best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. Also, Goyle Super XP Raw 95 is a high-grade fuel sold at the same price as normal fuel. And Goyle Diesel XP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. With over 440 stations across the nation, join the family that rewards you with quality for an energized driving experience. Goyle Good Energy. Goyle Yen Arayedim.
All right, and the BBC News would have been brought to you by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Log On Voice. Experience seamless business management. It will resume normal service from tomorrow, so don't miss it. Now, who's got the Point of Law series for today?
Me. All right, our UPSA Law School Point of Law series today from Section 18(1)(n) of the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act. And it says a bank has the power as part of its business to accept and keep for safe custody the valuables of customers, including jewelry, rare collections, etc. That's your Point of Law series, UPSA Law School Point of Law series today.
So don't keep it in your house for your house help to steal, basically. Is that it?
Nanyan.
Yahtzee.
Well, also, for the laundry drop-off, grocery pickup, lunch sit-down, or tank fill-up, when asked cash or card, it's always card for me. I switched from cash to card for all my payments with MasterCard.
Now, the Sukasa Ogranson Community's affordable luxury housing project is now rolling out its affordable housing unit, okay? So you can get the 3-bedroom for 97,500 or, pay in CDs, the equivalent, or the 4-bed with an outhouse, which also starts from $195,000 or its prevalent CD equivalent. Okay, you get various convenient payment options. You can find these projects at East Legon Hills and Ayimensa, and their office is on Lagos Avenue in East Legon. You can call 030-296-0865, or you can send a WhatsApp to 055-369-7886 for all of your inquiries, or just email info@sukasa.com.gh. On all social media handles, they are Sukasa GH. Sukasa, building on trust.
And something incredible will be happening on Saturday, 12 August at all Toyota Ghana branches in Accra and Tema. Toyota Ghana is offering free vehicle diagnosis for all Toyota and Lexus models. Join them for a day filled with exciting offers, including affordable oil change using Toyota Genuine Motor Oil, thorough 60-point inspection-free diagnostics, also discounted genuine Toyota parts, and lubricants, vehicle valuation for a trade-in or cashback deal, and Toyota Global Airbag recall campaign inspections. Don't miss out on this. It's happening at Toyota Ghana branch in Accra and Tema on Saturday, 12th of August. Unlock incredible benefits for your vehicle. For more details, please call Toyota Ghana on 0302 429 80125. Toyota, superior quality.
So the times are hard, and one thing on everyone's mind these days is cash. Sika, whether it's cash to pay the bills or for your kids' school fees, Societe Generale Ghana has got your back. The bank has launched the biggest loans campaign of the year, the Yatiso Loans promo. SG Ghana is offering discounted interest rates on its loans, so both customers and non-customers, including staff on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll, can enjoy access to heavily discounted loan rates. Yes, they say nowhere cool, but SG Ghana Bank is here to lighten your financial burdens. Get a loan now by visiting any of the bank's 42 networked outlets or call 0302-214-314 today. And as always, terms and conditions apply. Remember, promo ends on the 7th of August 2023. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you.
Have you added KingdomStoreOnline.com to your favorites yet? I mean, why not? It's the best thing to do during your lunch break when you're sitting at your desk and you just want to browse for something to cheer yourself up. You can look at some of the best quality office essentials, equipment, and furniture, all at great prices on KingdomStoreOnline.com. If you see something you like, you can pay via Momo and they'll deliver to your home in good time. If you're in Accra or Tema, you get free delivery. Terms and conditions apply. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmark.
And we have fantastic news for you. If you live and work at Oyarifa, Ghana's largest privately owned bank, Fidelity Bank, has opened a brand new branch at Oyarifa. Now we're closer to you than ever. Visit our new branch today at the Owusu Ansa Junction, Oyarifa, to enjoy top-notch banking services and experience superior customer service in a delightful and inviting environment. Is at the Owusu. Why do I keep saying Owusu? Owusu Ansa Junction.
Somebody wants to go
Ansa
to Owusu
Junction at Oyarifa. We look forward to serving you. Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
Oyarifa is becoming one of the most expensive suburbs.
Oh yeah, it's really cool.
They say land there costs about as much as land in Manhattan.
So why burden yourself to build when you can buy ready-to-move-in 3-bedroom executive houses located at Tema Community 25, built with the finest building materials and supervised by top-notch professional architects with flexible payment terms. Welcome to a breathtaking development from Selma Court, located at Tema Community 25, just about 55 minutes drive from the Kotoka International Airport. Now, this ready-to-move-in 3-bedroom development comes with beautifully fitted kitchen, spacious dining hall, and master bedrooms, and large sitting area next to the guest washroom and a spacious compound. And we give you a whopping 20% discount if you're reserving before the 30th of September 2023. You can reserve with as low as $5,000 with a city equivalent. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity to be your own landlord by calling our hotline 0249 399 932 or visit our website selmacourtghana.com for further information.
Alrighty then. Okay, time for the nutrition line from Nestle, and you know what they do best. They offer good food for a good life.
Having your baby try out different tastes and flavors isn't just about giving them a change of taste. This helps to develop their palate and prepares them better for accepting varieties of adult food as they grow. So go ahead and try any of our 6 Cerelac variants, that is wheat, maize, rice, biscuity, fruit pieces, and millet. Remember, each bowl of Cerelac contains goodness that helps your child's normal growth and development. Cerelac, it's all good, Mum. This advert is FDA approved.
This is Nestle Nutrition Line. Nestle Nutrition Line is a public service program from Nestle Ghana Limited. Nestle Nutrition Line offers tips on good food for a good life. Now to your presenter.
Hello, hello, beautiful moments for beautiful you. This is Nestle Nutrition Line, reaching out with the very best of health and fitness. Good morning. I hope you're well. I hope you're strong. I hope you're looking forward to a wonderful day. I'm Jackie Ankara, also known as Na Ajilisoa. Today we're giving you a broad overview of how breast milk is produced. One wrong myth is that the size of a woman's breast determines how successful she will be in breastfeeding. Breast size is an inherited trait and is determined by the number of fat cells a woman has. Breast milk is produced on demand, so the more a mother breastfeeds, the more milk will be produced irrespective of her breast size. When the baby begins to suck, it stimulates nerves in the nipple, which send a signal to the brain to release 2 hormones, prolactin and oxytocin. Prolactin causes a section of the breast called alveoli to take nutrients from the body and turn them into breast milk. The other hormone, oxytocin, then ejects the milk into the baby's mouth. So the more often your baby breastfeeds, the more the prolactin levels in your blood are boosted to produce milk. See a midwife or lactation consultant if you have questions related to breastfeeding. This is where we part sweet company for the day. We will be standing by to hear from you. As you know, we're only a phone call away and your feedback is precious as we work together in partnership for a healthier, longer, happier life. The numbers are 0302 517 020 or 0302 211 880, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Toll free 0800 12 0001. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight. On weekends and holidays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also WhatsApp, SMS, or call between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. the following numbers: 0593 845697, 0593 845649, or 0593 845708. You may also send an email to consumerservices@gh.nestle.com. Now go out and do something incredibly, remarkably, uniquely amazing with your life. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Having your baby try out different tastes and flavors isn't just about giving them a change of taste. This helps to develop their palate and prepares them better for accepting varieties of adult food as they grow. So go ahead and try any of our 6 Cerelac variants, that is wheat, maize, rice, biscuity, fruit pieces, and millet. Remember, each bowl of Cerelac contains goodness that helps your child's normal growth and development. Cerelac, it's all good, Mum. This advert is FDA approved.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Have you ever thought of the one that makes you complete? An escape from the clutches of interest charges. With the Standard Chartered Visa debit and credit cards, payments are completed at the speed of light, intertwined with interest earning accounts. You also get unbelievable rewards every time you swipe. You have access to over 1,200 airport lounges worldwide, high credit limits of up to 100,000 Ghana cedis, and up to 50 days interest-free with our credit cards. You also get to enjoy full multi-trip travel insurance for 90 days. Fees discounted at your feet with our globally partnered merchant points. Bills are always settled, not battled. Get the Standard Chartered debit and credit card now. Call toll-free on 0800 740 100 or 0302 740 100, or reach us via email on feedback.ghana@sc.com. Standard Chartered, here for good.
1xBet Jackpot is here with weekly massive prizes up for grabs. All you have to do is place your bets on any sports game and stand a chance to win. Simply register at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code JackpotGhana and place your bets. 1xBet is your key to great victories. Feel like a winner. 1xBet. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Woo! All right then. So birthday messages on the Super Morning Show are brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. Bank of Africa, the African bank with global reach. Bank of Africa, as strong as a group, as close as a partner. And Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Perfy.
So you know where to go if you're looking for that Nokia, Samsung, iPhone, smart TVs, fridges, tabletop fridges, Franco air condition, and CCTV camera. Monitor video anytime, anywhere. On screen, display OSD menu, easy configuration, 3-in-1 video audio control, all in one composite signal. All other mobile phone brands and accessories you can grab all other mobile phone brands and accessories from Franco Trading Enterprise at 40% discount. Don't pick any Franco Trading number on Google. If you want to get in touch with Franco Trading Enterprise, please call them on these numbers: 0246 422 338 or 0555 939-311, or download the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store. You can also visit their website, francotrading.com. Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Perfy.
And a happy glorious birthday to Dr. Emmanuel Victor Ebu Deben of Total House Clinic. May the great architect of the universe continue to bless and protect you. You're a mentor and a role model to many, and we're grateful for your guidance and inspiration. And that's from Raymond Aqua to you. Also, a special birthday wish to Sharon J.C. Safo, Republic Bank from the Wusis. They say, may the good Lord continue to order your steps and keep you pretty as always.
Oh, this one says, kindly wish my son Ridwan Tofik a happy birthday, and my daughter Shamima a belated happy birthday. And that's from Tofik on Twitter. Got a couple here. This one says, happy birthday to Madam Eunice Na Ashade of SNIT head office. It's from Mr. Richard Anani.
All right, it's your birthday today. Ya Adobia Miracle, we love you. Enjoy your day. It's from your Bosso crew.
And there's a one to Mrs. Gertrude Ahene of Emmanuel Methodist Church at Abosulkang, and it's from Dr. Roslyn Amoa to you. Let's see if we have any other messages. It doesn't look like. Okay, so we can get into the Sports Center then.
Which is brought to you by
MTN.
Everywhere you go. Standard Chartered Bank, here for good. Allianz Life Insurance, we secure your future. 1xBet, your reliable bookmaker, and DSTV.
It's your moment. Now, do you lead a corporate business, a global subsidiary, or run the affairs of a small or medium enterprise? As a key decision maker in your business, we know you want to make payments seamlessly and access real-time transaction data. Whether you're at work or on the go. Well, Standard Chartered provides the digital key to help unlock your business potential. That key is Straight to Bank, a single access end-to-end digital platform that helps you manage the needs of your business on the go. View transactions, pay your business partners and government institutions through Ghana.gov, facilitate real-time payments and collections with the latest encryption technology and security. Elevate your banking experience today with Straight to Bank, our award-winning digital banking platform powering payroll, cash management, trade, and securities. You can always bank on us. Kindly email premierservice.gh@sc.com to sign up today.
And here's to all registered OneXBet players. We have something interesting just for you. A reliable bookmaker has launched a Jackpot of the Week promotion. You have a unique opportunity to get the weekly jackpot. Look for the conditions on the promotion page. Complete simple tasks and get the chance to win a lump sum. We also remind you about registration on the website or in the OneXBet app with the promo code GHJackpot to get a bonus of up to 2,650 Ghana cedis.
All right, Yellow. Have you ever wondered how to subscribe to a particular MTN service and how to view, add, or cancel your mobile subscription all from one place? Just dial *175# to access and manage all your subscriptions everywhere you go.
And secure your life and that of your loved one. Just dial *1890# to join the Allianz Life family and experience true peace of mind. You can buy and pay for your life insurance, pay premiums on an existing account, check your balance, withdraw your insurance savings, initiate claims, and receive payments promptly. All these by just dialing *1890#. Follow Allianz Live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Allianz Live Ghana. For more information, call Allianz Life Insurance on 0302267892 or visit our website allianz-gh.com. Allianz Life, we secure your future. Fentio Tahiru Fentio.
Hi, Winston. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Welcome aboard to the Joy Sports Center with me, Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Coming up this morning, a war of words between Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf and former Black Stars coach CK Akono is threatening to usurp the peace and trust that once existed between employer and employee. Details coming up. First, though, the fixtures for the 2023-24 Ghana Premier League season were announced yesterday, with Matchday 1 serving some fascinating encounters. Defending champions Mediama begin their title defense at home against Accra Lions, while Hearts of Oak face a tough opening day trip to Tamale to face RTU. New Asante Kotoko head coach Prosper Nate, his first task will be a home game against New Boys Bando Hearts of Lions. GFA General Secretary Prosper Harrison-Ado explains some of the technicalities involved in generating the fixture list.
In order to ensure that two clubs who are in the same vicinity do not play the same match day at home and then the next match day both of them go away, you have to pair them in a way that once one is playing home, the other is going away. In Kumasi, you have Asante Kotoko paired against Nations FC. Karila paired with Mediema, and then Instructor Mine paired with Bofakwa Tano. Of course, Go Stars, and then FC Samates. Out of Lions, Dreams FC, Red Tamale United, and Beche, they are all alone.
Prosper Harrison-Ado. Now, getting the fans back to the match venues will be a critical preoccupation of the GFA going into this new campaign following the abysmally low numbers recorded last season. Yesterday, Joy Sports and Inshira FM took a great step in trying to woo fans back to our stadiums by bringing together key stakeholders in the Ghanaian football ecosystem to brainstorm solutions to the low stadium attendance experienced in the past Ghana football season. Dubbed Field GPL Centers to Challenges and Solutions, the mid-year thought leadership event saw a scientific breakdown of the major challenges associated with low stadium attendance and provided remedies. Youth and Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf was the special guest of honor at the event, and he charged clubs to be innovative in their approach to drawing fans to the stadium, but critically, he advised the GFA to avoid scheduling GPL games at inconvenient times.
Premier League clubs, in your pursuit of attracting fans, consider innovative marketing strategy that resonates with the young generation, engaging the community and giving back through corporate social responsibility initiative can foster deeper connection with fans. To Ghana Football Association, the organizers of the league strive for fair and attractive competition that fans can be proud of. We must be conscious of global competition from the top league like the English Premier League and avoid fixtures clashes, taking into consideration our account of our climate and work schedule. We should aim to match time that are convenient and enjoyable to our football fans.
That's the sports minister, chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association, Kujo Fiano. He pledged to study the findings and take action.
I want to pledge as the chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association that on behalf of the clubs, we are not going to allow this report to gather dust. We're going to commit ourselves to it. GALCA will have to adopt it and organize series of engagements with our clubs, our supporters, so that we can come back on track.
Marketing guru and sports enthusiast Mawuku Afajinu, who was a speaker at the event, urged football officials to create a family-friendly atmosphere at the various football stadiums to encourage fans of all demographics to attend the games.
And we also have to find a way of repositioning football as a family sport. We tried it. And you know, the thing about GH Ghana is that all these points I'm raising have precedent and we've done them before. Can't wait. We wanted to fill the stadiums. We managed to introduce a family leg into the game. And our stadiums were full. And we got ladies going to the stadium. And we got people going there in droves to watch football matches, which was a typically male game.
More on the things that happened, the wonderful suggestions from everybody at the GPL Centre's symposium held yesterday in our subsequent bulletins, of course. But let's return to the sports minister. Last week, Youth and Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf declared that former Black Stars coach CK Akono was paid $100,000 following his contract termination in late 2021. Well, that comment did not go down well with Akono, who claimed in a Graphic Sports interview published on Monday that he was never paid the said amount as claimed by the minister. The ministry has now been forced to respond to the former coach in a statement detailing every single payment made to Akono since his sacking. In total, $508,000 has been made to Akono, with an outstanding balance of $220,000 yet to be paid. Charles Amofa speaks for the Ministry of Youth and Sport.
But the statement that was published yesterday, if you take a glance at it, you will see that in October 2021, he was paid $54,000. February 2022, he was paid in excess of $54,000. January 2023, he was paid $100,000. And then just yesterday, he was also paid $30,000, totaling $508,102,000. That's in excess of $500,000. These are amounts or monies that have been paid to our senior brother. And this era of right to information, policy, anybody at all can just walk into the ministry and then get details of the checks and then the amounts paid to our senior brother. You could also get even further information from the GFA as well. So we just want to make this clear to the public that, yes, we still owe our brother CK, but in a very good time, we're going to pay the arrears of $220,000.
That's Charles Amofa there. $500,000 to CK Akono for getting fired on his job. Incredible. $220,000 still remains to be paid to him as compensation for getting sacked as Black Stars coach. Now, at the FIFA Women's World Cup, Nigeria made it through to the round of 16 following a 0-0 draw in their last group game against Ireland. The result, coupled with Australia's win over Canada, meant the Super Falcons, the lowest ranked side in Group B, qualified in second place at the expense of the Olympic champions Canada. The Nigerians, however, could face England if the Lionesses top their group. They play China later this morning. With one host nation, New Zealand, already out of the tournament, Australia headed into their last group game, potentially exiting the competition as well. But they dug deep and secured a thumping 4-0 victory against Canada to progress.
Well, it's a sense of pure euphoria among football fans in Australia. I've seen "Where were you when Australia beat Canada?" tweets. Even the country's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, or Albo as he's known here, took time in a general press briefing earlier to speak at length about the Matildas, as they're known, saying that it will have a serious impact on the country. I can't imagine if they win the World Cup, the euphoria would be any greater than it is today. But
the BBC's Mana Yasmin in Australia, speaking about the delirium that followed Australia's qualification to the round of 16. Zambia did secure their first FIFA Women's World Cup win by edging out Costa Rica in their final Group C match. Barbara Banda scored the tournament's 1,000th goal in a 3-1 win. Portugal versus USA is currently ongoing. It's 0-0 at halftime. The Netherlands have 5-0 up against Vietnam at halftime as well. The entire second half still to come. We wrap up with some transfer news. Brazil midfielder Fabinho has completed a move to Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad from Liverpool on a 3-year deal. The 29-year-old did not travel with the rest to a recent training camp in Germany after the Saudi side made a 40 million bid for him. Manchester United, I beg your pardon. Manchester United, they've agreed a 10-year extension to their partnership with Adidas, worth a minimum of £900 million.
Why is that painful to you?
Mamavi, I know, right? My heart skipped a beat. United's new deal with the German kit manufacturer runs until June 2035, with their previous 10-year deal having been worth £750 million. Chelsea did sign a £900 million Nike deal as well in 2017, but that deal was for 15 years. United's £900 million deal is for 10 years, so clearly a lot bigger.
You know, what's interesting is that Chelsea is not in your story. You just had to bring that up. The problem with Chelsea is that you continue.
You didn't do my script for me.
You continue to live in the past.
You didn't do my script for me. You didn't do my script for me.
Friends, that's all for sports.
Just saying Manchester United and £900 million. It was hurtful. So my brain and my math were not coordinating.
I could tell. But we'll pardon you. It's fine. It's still a deal. It
Thank
stands.
you very much. Thank you.
And that's sports with friends this morning. There's more sports on myjoyonline.com, and our social media messages here on the Super Morning Show, brought to us by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Ghana AIDS Commission tests to know your HIV status and take steps to protect your health. Number 10, liver salt, a refreshing relief, and GTP, lifestyled.
EcoBank Mobile, they make me say, EcoBank Mobile, they make me crazy. Download it and use it. It gon' make your life so easy, yeah. Oh, yeah. Download it. You go enjoy them. In my Brahmin chain. In my Brahmin chain. Come make a download them for you. Cause you can pay bills, you can buy credit, you can pay school fees, even just tights with the Apple. EcoBank Apple.
Life is easy with the EcoBank mobile app. You can pay your bills, transfer to and from mobile wallet, virtual card creation, transfer to other banks, express account opening, scan and pay, express cash, all at your fingertips with the EcoBank mobile app. You know, it's 5-star life with EcoBank. Can promise.
Why burden yourself to build when you can buy ready-to-move in 3-bedroom executive houses located at Tema Community 25, built with the finest building materials and supervised by top-notch professional architects with flexible payment terms? Welcome to a breathtaking development from Selma Court, located at Tema Community 25, just about 55 minutes drive from Kotoka International Airport. This ready-to-move-in 3-bedroom development comes with beautifully fitted kitchen, spacious dining hall and master bedroom, and large sitting area. We give you a whopping 20% discount if you reserve before 30th September 2023. You can reserve with as low as $5,000 Ghana cedi equivalent by calling our hotline on 0249 399 932 or visit our website on www.selmacourtghana.com for further information.
Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
It's 56 minutes after 7. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Listen, the EcoBank salary account is a special account designed for workers of all income brackets desirous of receiving their salaries through EcoBank. With the EcoBank salary account, you're guaranteed all the benefits of a normal savings or current account, plus many more. EcoBank salary account gives workers free life insurance cover of up to 10,000 Ghana cedis, 24/7 access to cash and e-banking services, internet and mobile banking services, also high interest on savings, no minimum balance at all. Ability to save through the EcoBank Save as you spend, a unique feature that helps customers to save and invest. Remember, the insurance policy covers death, permanent, temporary disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and more. Savings on or current account holders at EcoBank do not have to close their existing accounts to enjoy the numerous benefits of the EcoBank salary account. Just ask your branch to switch your existing account to the EcoBank salary account. That's all. Non-EcoBank account holders should approach any EcoBank branch and ask for the EcoBank salary account. Switch your salary account today and enjoy amazing benefits at EcoBank. Call EcoBank toll free on 0800 003 225 whenever, wherever for further details. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
It is no exaggeration to say we cannot find another period in our history where so many different headwinds hit our economy at the same time with unrelenting speed and scale. Thankfully, as the members are beginning to show, we have together as a nation turned the corner. Mr. Speaker, for the first 6 months of the year, we continue making progress to exceed our non-oil revenue targets for the year. We have seen improvements in non-oil tax revenue collection despite some notable shortfalls in VAT.
So basically, the finance minister presents a picture of hope. We will see if the figures match the presentation. That's what we are doing here on the Super Morning Show today. We've got about a minute and then we will go for the Joy Business Minutes. The Joy Business Minutes is brought to us by Consolidated Bank Ghana CBG. We stand with you and McDan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution. Are you a government worker looking for quick access to financial assistance at most competitive interest rate? Look no further. CBG is offering you access to loans up to 250,000 Ghana cedis and up to 72-month repayment period. For more information on how to access CBG controller loans, walk into any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide or contact CBG on 0302 216,000. Send an email to info@cbg.com.gh. Visit their website cbg.com.gh or get in touch with them on their social media handles. They're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where you get additional information. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you. Has your corner turned? It's also another question that we're asking. Kindly get in touch with your WhatsApp messages on 055 1111 997. Send your tweets to Joy997 and add the hashtag JoySMS. Time for the Joy Business Minutes.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you and McDan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution. Rating agency Fitch has affirmed Ghana's credit rating at restrictive default. The rating is coming after the country received an IMF support program in May. Government has begun the process to restructure the country's pension funds worth 31 billion cedis. It is therefore inviting holders of these bonds to exchange it for a new set of government papers. Ghana Cocoa Board has revised the deadline for the debt exchange program for the cocoa bills to Thursday, August 3. That's because Friday is a public holiday. Banking giant HSBC's profits have more than doubled as it benefited from rising interest rates around the world. The London-based lender posted pre-tax profit of $21.7 billion for the first 6 months of the year. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you, and Magdan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Indeed, it's the best breakfast show in town. 1 minute after 8. Thanks to Daryl and the business team for bringing us the Joy Business Minute. We're always grateful to Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG. We stand with you. And of course, Magdan Aviation, your dependable private aviation solution. 8 a.m. every weekday morning, we bring you the Joy Business Minutes. Has your corner turned? That's what the finance minister says about Ghana's economy. Do you understand all the macroeconomic indicators and the fact that he's presenting a picture of hope?
In global prices, we will therefore undertake a downward review of the oil-related revenue as well as the corresponding expenditures to align with the underperformance of some of our revenue handles. The appropriation has been revised from Ghana cedis 227.7 billion to 206.0 billion Ghana cedis. Selected roads in Sekondi and Takoradi Phase 1 is a fifth of the way complete. Tema Flower Road, 30%. In Samamo Fanko, 26%. Reconstruction of Bechimen, Techimentia, Akomaden Road, 64% complete. Phase 2 of Obechebili, Lamte Circle Interchange and other ancillary works, 86% complete. It is no exaggeration to say we cannot find another period in our history where so many different headwinds hit our economy at the same time with unrelenting speed and scale. Thankfully, as the members are beginning to show, we have together as a nation turned the corner.
Ken Oforiatta, Finance Minister, presenting the mid-year budget yesterday in Parliament. He says that we have turned the corner, but we want to ask you, has your corner turned? This whole picture of hope that he's presenting, we will see if the figures match. That's our mission here on the Super Morning Show this morning. Day after that presentation, our big story is brought to you by Vodafone. Further together, latest from your partner for life, Belmonte by CPL Developers, the ultimate luxury experience, and Access Bank, your number one remittance bank. Access Bank, more than banking. Have you joined the Vodafone Edemu promotion that's ongoing, getting exciting? Well, don't miss this opportunity to cash out in their demo promotion. All you have to do is purchase airtime or bundle with 5 Ghana cedis or more and receive up to 20% cash back in your Vodafone Cash wallet. You can also participate in the Vodafone Edemu Dance Challenge. That's on social media. And you could win some Samsung Ghana phones and earbuds. You have to post a video of yourself on social media dancing to the signature Edemu song and tag Vodafone Ghana. Pretty simple. That's all you have to do. And you could win some Samsung phones and earbuds. Keep reloading in the demo promotion and win big. Vodafone further together. And let me tell you about Belmonte. That's where luxury meets comfort. If you are in the market for a home that combines class, convenience, and comfort, then look no further than Belmonte. Belmonte is located in the prime East Legon area of Lagos Avenue. The Belmonte stylish apartment offers first-class luxury and cutting-edge finishing. Whether you're looking for an executive studio suite, a cozy one-bedroom apartment, a spacious two-bedroom apartment, or a custom villa, Belmonte will sort you out. Belmonte also offers a range of top-notch facilities to relax and keep you entertained. So why wait? Take the first step towards your dream home. Sign up for their 3-year payment plan on and own your property today. Contact Belmonte on 0204 343 011 or 0204 343 015. Belmonte is developed by CPL. Get in touch with them. Let them sort you out. So you can also be a home owner. You can own your second home, your third home. It's a great way to invest. But has your corner turned? How's your pocket feeling? Has it turned? Is it turning? Are you hopeful after that presentation yesterday? 055 1111997. Please get in touch with that. That's our WhatsApp number. Also send your tweet to Joy997 and add the hashtag JoySMS.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
It is no exaggeration to say we cannot find another period in our history where so many different headwinds hit our economy at the same time with unrelenting speed and scale. Thankfully, as the members are beginning to show, we have together as a nation turned the corner.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Hey, you ever buy credits where you get up to 20% of your money back before? Make I tell you about Vodafone's demo promo. See, anytime you recharge a demo, you get up to 20%, whether it be short code or your Vodafone cash wallet, or you use credit transfer to your number or someone else. And now you be high tech, so you use my Vodafone app or any payment app. However you do, Vodafone go send you up to 20% cash back. Into your Vodafone cash account. We reload here, but then you enter. Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana cedi or more in Vodafone's demo promotion and receive 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone demo promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from Latex Foam. There is so much choice whatever your budget. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Wouldn't you prefer an apartment hotel? One that offers the utmost convenience of a boutique hotel while offering the idyllic comfort of your own private home. Oasis Park Residences offers luxury studios, 1, 2 and 3 bedrooms both for short and long-term rental at competitive rates. Our sky swimming pool, gourmet outdoor restaurant and a fully equipped gym rest on a breathtaking rooftop with panoramic views of the city. Oasis Park Residences, located at Shiashi Tetekwashi, 10 minutes from the international airport, is the ideal place for all your accommodation needs. Why don't you give us a call on 020-4343-009 or visit our website at oasisparkresidences.com to make your reservations. Oasis Park Residences, more than a home.
When you're for would you want money seek free amanone and now one money seek amanone any beka customers and pimpima won't win a chedia one swallow access bank at chedia promo no a bribia babura access bank on crabata BM eco disika money who you maybe a free 500 Ghana cedis aircraft who bet me winning surprises a hood one movie so Western Union and a money gramba with trimua my access bank in bra with three so a man seek cancel beto access bank account to direct there a you free for toll free 0800 004400 Access Bank, more than banking.
Hi, now let me share my wildlife experience with you at Safari Valley Eco Park. On our arrival, we were greeted by experienced tour guides who took us through an orientation on how best to enjoy the experience. We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the Eco Park. We saw zebras, sable antelopes, crown cranes, maras, silky chicken, emus, wallabies, deer, ponies, and so many animals. We watched the animals roam freely in their natural habitat, undisturbed by our presence. Our tour guide told us so much much about the wildlife, their behavior, and how to interact with them. I even fed them. We also went fishing. Then we took a break to have lunch in the beauty of the open space. All of this fun and activities for a starting price of 250 cedis, and it's free for children below 6 years. As the sun began to set, it was time to go back home, but not before our sunset dinner by the campfire. We've had a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't wait to visit again. Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature.
You know, I still haven't told my husband. I'm afraid of his reaction.
Oh, I thought you said you would try to disclose your HIV positive status to him on your birthday.
I wanted to, but never got round to it. It just did not seem like the right time to say it.
Don't you want him to go and test to know his status too?
Of course I do. I am just afraid of his reaction. I am afraid he will walk out on me and quit the marriage.
But you can't be too sure of that.
You know, the other day, when he heard HIV in the news, he referred to it as a bad disease. And I know a couple of people whose partners deserted them because they tested positive for HIV.
But it is also important for him to test for HIV and start antiretroviral medication if he is HIV positive.
So what should I do now?
Why don't we ask your HIV counselor at the facility for advice? Come on, let us call her and find out how best to disclose your HIV status to your husband and also get him to test for HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ghana AIDS Commission. Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Seen a soul.
The Super Morning Show is always the best bet Super Morning Show is always the best. On Joy 99.7
Then you shake it, also, Obanona, the Ekun, you shake it, also, Obanona, the Ekun, Mia, between the same quo, orders, between the same quo, orders, Semi wa na mandia na yo. Semi wa
Super Morning Show. And, got a big conversation up ahead.
Exactly, Kujo. But before we do that, today is Papa Ansa's birthday.
Oh, really?
Papa Ansa, yes, it is
Our
birthday
very own
today.
Papa Ansa.
And so happy birthday to you, Papa Ansa. And it's also the birthday of Elizabeth Owusu Jebi, who is the PRO at Interplus. So happy birthday to you, Elizabeth Owusu Jebi. It's from all of us here at the Multimedia Group, particularly Charles Van Dyke, to you. Enjoy your day.
God bless you both. All right. Now, don't forget the Habitat Fair is coming up this weekend. We've got a clinic at West Hills Mall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Come around and hang out with us. Let's have a good time together and, figure out how we're going to finish these projects that are hanging around our necks.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm sure that for many of you, you're thinking about whether to go for some say affordable comfort. But you're thinking of, going for affordability, maybe going for the comfort or luxury.
Yes.
Whatever your choice is, we've got you sorted. Just come to the West Hills Mall. Let's have this conversation. I mean, make your choice of everything that you want there. I mean, whether it's lighting, security systems, whether it's about land, whether it's about a home. If it's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, if you want a penthouse, you would get it. Exactly. Maybe you want one with an outhouse, you would get it too. So just find yourself. I mean, just get to the West Hills Mall on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you won't regret it.
Yes, for me it's affordable paint, comfortable chairs, luxurious bed.
So what do you want?
All of the above.
Hey.
Anyway, are you looking for a 1-seater, 2-seater, 3-seater, L-shaped sofa crafted to the finest detail and available in various colors for your home, office, or hotel? Are you looking for comfort? Durability, quality, and perfect finishing? Then look no further. Latex Foam is your one-stop shop. Whatever your choice or budget, you can buy from the best, not the imitated. Buy Latex Foam. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
So Absa Bank says they know that life is go, and that it's hard to make time for the things that really count. So they won't let banking get in your way. That's how with Absa's digital channels, you can bank when, where, and how you want, so you can focus on what or who's important to you. Banking has never been this easy. Transfer funds into your savings account, pay your old school union dues and your DSTV subscription, and so much more with a click on your phone. Get things done simply with Absa's digital channels. That's Africanacity. That's Absa. Terms and conditions apply. Visit absa.com.gh for further details.
Now, what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, who's got the moolah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. So pick up your phones, tablets, computers, and download the Game Park Game app on Play Store. You can also play on the website, which is gameparkgames.com. Or just dial *946# on any network. Just choose 4 numbers between 0 and 9. It's easy to play and it's easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats the odds of the Game Park Games in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. It is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. All right, so in a moment, we'll be talking to Joe Jackson and Professor Godfred Bokpin about the mid-year review, the turning of corners. We'll get to that. But first, let's give ourselves a quick reminder of what the Finance Minister shared with Parliament yesterday.
Mr. Speaker, it is no exaggeration to say we cannot find another period in our history where so many different headwinds hit our economy at the same time with unrelenting speed and scale. Thankfully, as the members are beginning to show, and as many honorable members of the House have indicated to me in our engagements, we have together as a nation turned the corner. Turned the corner, Mr. Speaker. We have avoided the unimaginable, but what could have been so easily possible under different leadership circumstances. With a lot of effort, we have managed to avoid empty shop shelves for medicines and other essentials. We have seen no shortage of food. We have been spared the frustrating spectre of long queues for fuel at our filling stations, and we have managed, in spite of all the challenges, to keep the lights on. Indeed, as the psalmist said in Psalm 118:23, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Mr. Speaker, for the first 6 months of the year, we continue making progress to exceed our non-oil revenue targets for the year. We have seen improvements in non-oil tax revenue collection despite some notable shortfalls in VAT. However, oil revenues are falling short of expectations due to changes in global prices. We will therefore undertake a downward review of the oil-related revenue as well as the corresponding expenditures to align with the underperformance of some of our revenue handles. Specifically, this will impact the annual budget funding amount. The appropriation has been revised from Ghana cedis 227.7 billion as presented and approved in November 2022 to 206.0 billion Ghana cedis. This is in line with Regulation 24, Sub-Regulation 3 of Public Financial Management Act Regulation 2019, LI 2378. Mr. Speaker, we will therefore not require a supplementary budget. To improve mobility and accessibility, as well as safety along major trunk roads, the following projects are at various stages of completion. Work on 31.2 kilometers Asim-Fosu-Asim-Praso portion of the National Trunk Road N8 was completed and commissioned in June 2023. Accra-Tema Beach Road, Lot 1 and Lot 2, 79 and 89% complete respectively. Construction of a 3-tier interchange at Nungwa Barrier is ongoing. Development works on the Kumasi Lake Road and Drainage Extension Project 98% complete. Selected roads in Second D and Takoradi Phase 1 is a fifth of the way complete. Tema Flower Road is 30%. In Samao Fanko, 26%. Reconstruction of Bichimen, Techimentia, Akomaden Road, 64% complete. Reconstruction of Aguna and Kota in Kwanta, Takwa Road, 34% complete. Phase 2 of Obechebili, Lamte Circle Interchange and other ancillary works, 86% complete. Construction of a 4-tier interchange at Swami in the Asanchi region to commence. Construction of 50 prefabricated bridges in all 16 regions and continued in 2023 are 86% complete. Mr. Speaker, to support the effective implementation of the IMF-supported PCPEG, the government has put in place an implementation strategy. Status of progress towards achieving the program objectives. Mr. Speaker, the IMF-supported program will be monitored and reviewed semi-annually based on agreed targets to be met by end June and end December each year. We will prepare for a comprehensive assessment of the targets by the IMF during the first review in September 2023, which will assess 9 structural benchmarks, 6 quantitative performance criteria, and 3 indicative targets in 2023. Mr. Speaker, the IMF-supported PCPEG has also prioritized social protection reforms to ensure that the vulnerable are protected from the impact of the ongoing fiscal adjustment. Social spending on health, social protection, and education will be closely monitored to ensure timely disbursement of funds to beneficiaries. In addition, an indexation mechanism for benefits under the LEAP program will be put in place by end September 2023. Furthermore, the coverage of LEAP will be expanded and its targeting improved to cover the extreme poor by 2024. Mr. Speaker, Cabinet also approved a turnaround strategy for Cocoa Board as part of measures to improve financial viability of the institution and to position it to deliver increased value for the people of Ghana. I take this opportunity to assure all our key stakeholders of government's commitment to the unwavering implementation of our very own PCPEG, which undergirds the IMF-approved program.
All right, so that was Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta yesterday as he presented a review of the 2023 budget. Now, one thing that has got many of you, talking, having debates and having conversations is where the Finance Minister talks about having turned the corner. This morning, we're joined by Joe Jackson, who's Director of Operations at DLX Finance, and Professor Godfred Bokping, Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School. Thank you very much, Professor Bokping and Joe Jackson, for joining us.
Morning. Good morning. Thank you very much, and good morning. Joe Jackson. Prof, good morning. Good to be on the show with you. Yes, it's always a pleasure listening to you.
So let me start off with you, Joe Jackson, and I mean, I've seen that post of yours. I mean, the finance minister says we're gone past our most difficult moments. You disagree?
It's a tough one for me to agree to.
Okay.
And I base this on just one look at it. At the beginning of this year, in our darkest moment, when we hadn't signed the IMF bailout, and we hadn't completed the domestic debt exchange program, etc., he estimated that growth in this economy would be 2.8%. Yesterday, he revised that estimate to 1.5%.
Okay.
At that time, he said they'll be able to bring down inflation to 18.9%. Yesterday, his estimate was 31.3%. At that time, he said our gross reserves, which is the money we have then to be able to buy imports, and look at how much of an importing country we are. At that time, he said the target was going to be 3.3 months. Now he says 0.8 of a month. And I could go on. Non-oil GDP growth, he said it will be 3%. Now he's estimating it at 1.5%. If you look at it, all the major macroeconomic parameters that he set for us in January, he's worsened it for the end of the year. That doesn't sound to me like we've turned the corner. That sounds to me like things are going to get tougher before they get better. So it's a tough one for me to say that we've turned the corner. In addition, there's so many things that are huge risks that we are facing. I mean, inflation is stubborn, absolutely stubborn, in the 40s, and refuses to come down. And I was hoping they would address the issue of food inflation. They will address the issue of whether the monetary policy tools being used by the central bank are working. We've increased in the monetary policy rate all the way to 30%. And yet inflation is not coming down. I was hoping that he would have given us another path, another strategy that will be employed to bring, because inflation is what you feel it in your pocket. When you go and buy a piece of frozen chicken, you feel it. When you go and buy rice, you feel it. When you go and buy oil, you feel it. You buy drugs for your child, you feel it. So these are real issues.
Okay. Let me just bring in Professor Bokping. I mean, as Professor of Finance, I just want to get his views on that also. I'll get back to you because you've raised questions about what we feel, and I'll also be asking you questions about what the Finance Minister believes, is being done. But Professor Bokping, I mean, in the past you've complained. Yes, inflation, the target was at 18.9, but the reality is that by end of year 2022, inflation was at 54%. Today is at 42.5%. And we've seen it going down, even though it's going up a little bit now. But the exchange rate, relatively stable. Isn't that an indication that we're past our worst moments?
Thank you very much. I agree 100% with Mr. Joe Jackson. Of course, we can look at the same data and see some relative stability. As to whether that signal, you can interpret that signal to mean we have turned the corner, is problematic.
Why is it problematic?
Look at it this way. I'm looking at the posture of government 8 months ago when they were presenting
the substantive budget 2023, they were, in finance or economics, we say they were bullish. They were aggressively confident of how they were going to turn things around. So they set targets to reflect that. 8 months down the line, instead of improving on those targets, we have revised them to reflect a certain posture now that things are actually not going to go the way we had expected. I think we should have admitted. One of the problems you see with this administration the last 3 years is that they are overly confident and bent on pushing a certain storyline which doesn't reflect reality, and consistently it betrays them. And I think that is not good.
Okay.
I'm saying it's not good because, you see, people plan. You know, the budget is an important tool and input in decision-making for private sector, households, even our development partners. So if the government, because if you run your business, okay, you may not have the capacity to be able to forecast inflation, which will also feed into your pricing, either pricing for goods or services or even for wage negotiation. So if the government, with access to all available data, says that they will be able to bring inflation down to 18.9%, of course, it's very difficult to get it exactly right. But the margin of error should give some comfort to stakeholders. Look at the variance between the target and now the revise. That is problematic.
Okay.
And that is not helpful. It doesn't help in building policy credibility. And I think, and if you look at the history of the MPP, this is uncharacteristic of the MPP.
Yeah, but Prof, I mean, while you may also argue that it doesn't build policy credibility, you also may want to look at where we were. Yes, he's been overly ambitious, but the reality today is that from 54% to 42.5%, I mean, it rose to 54%, and then we've been able to bring it down to 42%. Doesn't that in itself tell you that going forward, we can now achieve the 31% that he talks about?
That's what I'm saying, that if you were doing your modeling, forecasting, projection, you need to be realistic. We are talking about 8 months down the line.
Sure.
The IMF had projected growth for us of 1.5% way back. We said we're going to do 2.8%. But, of course, one cannot run away from the fact that with the IMF program, the inflows of the 600 million, we've seen some stability. But this relative stability, but wait, this is also so because the economy is not in full gear. The economy is not in full gear because we are not honoring important obligations. So the stability
What are these important obligations you make reference to?
We have suspended debt servicing on our external debt.
Okay.
We are not honoring, or we are not in optimal position with all payment to arrears, contractors, independent power producers, all important stakeholders within the economy. So if you have suspended that, your economy is not in full gear. So if you see some stability and you interpret that to mean you have turned the corner, you may be surprised if pressures from all this begin to mount and crystallize. Then you will see that the stability you are talking about is actually not durable.
Okay.
That is the point that I'm making. That we are seeing some stability, particularly with exchange rates. It's not sustainable. It's also because your economy is not in full gear. So what that would tell me is that we need to be careful and handle the stability we are seeing with care.
Is it your expectation? No. Is it your expectation that if the economy gets into full gear, these relative stability that we are experiencing will change?
Yeah,
and
they will change.
Okay. And see a further depreciation of the cedi.
And in fact, Winston, that has been Ghana's problem for a very long time. Sometimes when we are under IMF program, we operate certain austerity that beyond the program we cannot continue. And therefore, when we unwind, the stability that the program guarantees then becomes unsustainable.
Okay.
This is the problem. So, for instance, look, arrears to school feeding, arrears to contractors all over the place. And then Winston, the other thing I feel which the minister didn't tell us enough is that this relative stability we are seeing is coming at a great cost we have never seen in our life before. This is coming at a price that is beyond what we could pay. This stability we want to celebrate has impacted the balance sheet of households, individuals, private sector, and even it didn't spare the central bank.
Okay.
Have you seen the balance sheet of the central bank?
I have.
This is the price the central bank has to pay for Ghana to have breathing space. And today, the central bank's total ability exceeds total assets. Its equity is hugely negative. This is the bank of last resort. The bank of last resort is actually in need of a bailout, probably from a government that is already in a bailout arrangement with IMF. We can say, yes, some recovery, but it's coming at a great cost. If you put all these things together, it gives you an idea that the recovery will be slow and it will be painful.
Okay. Let me just bring in, please hold on. Let me bring in Joe Jackson in at this point. We'll get into other areas where you expected the finance minister to have addressed that he didn't address. But Joe Jackson, I mean, we've talked about a reduction in expenditure. The finance minister says we're reducing expenditure. He's talked about how, yes, our revenue targets were not met for the first half of the year, but we also did not exceed our expenditure targets. He's talked about a reduction in expenditure by some 20 billion Ghana cedis. Is that not on a good note?
On the surface, it sounds fantastic. But there are some worrying elements.
Tell me.
First of all, we increased salaries.
Yes.
That is a worrying element. But even more important, the finance minister didn't tell us how much has been incurred this year and not paid. Arrears incurred this year and not paid. You see, it's not just a simple matter of having spent. But there are people who have come to the government and say, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me, contractors, etc. So it would have been interesting if he had said, not only have we spent less, but we've also reduced or kept the level of the arrears the same. Because truly, if you tell me this month that you have spent less and you haven't included the shares that you bought on credit, which is due next month, then I won't agree with you. Because you've incurred a debt, and so and the worrying part is that you're not paying any of those bills, and they're piling up. So it's okay to say I've reduced this, I've done that, and there's been relatively no infrastructure spent.
Now let's just put the figures to it.
And the size of government that worries us are the SOEs and the size of the central government itself. ministers, appointees, special assistants. So the cost of salaries to the public sector is growing, it's not falling.
Yes, so the cost of salaries within the public sector, and let me just put figures to it. So, for instance, in the first half of the year, we had a revenue target of 64.7 billion. We raised 59.3 billion. So that's 8.4% below the target. But within that period also, we anticipated an expenditure of 92.9 billion. Compared with an expenditure of 68.5 billion. Now, that is 26.3% below the programmed expenditure. But the issue here, talking about wages and salaries, the minister admits that all revenue items were within their limits except wages and salaries, which we know based on a 30% increase in base pay. And then talks about goods and services. Isn't he being realistic here? We all saw what happened when organized labor asked for these, Joe Jackson.
But you see, you forget that in the middle of all this, at that level of expenditure, we're going to borrow another 60 billion this year. Our deficit was going to be 60 billion. So maybe that deficit has been cut, but it's not zero. And there are still worrying signs. I tell you why I'm worried.
Tell me.
We haven't finished negotiating with the foreign debtors. We don't know exactly where that will land us. We haven't finished negotiating with the independent power producers. And in fact, the energy sector debt is creeping up again. And with the independent power producers, we can't go about it the way we have done in the past, because they have the ability to flip a switch and we end up in darkness. And in fact, they are threatening as we speak. There's also something that is deeply worrying. It is the rising cost of local debt. It is the rising cost of T-bills. And Monday's on Friday's auction preceding the cost of a T-bill has gone all the way up to 30% plus. This is in an economy where the government says that the long-term, the long-term rate that it can afford to pay is between 11 and 13%. Look at where the domestic debt exchange ended up, 11%. Look at where the cocoa bills have ended up, 13%. How can we be accumulating short-term debt at 30%? How can we, and so if we are worried about the rising cost, this is one of them. And this is even, this is even as we are using treasury bills, which is basically short-term financing to do long-term things. That's a great source of worry. And until the government starts to bring down the rising cost of short-term debt, we have to be worried. It's easy to look at the numbers and say, but at January this year, short-term debt was at 35%, and now it's come down to 30%.
Yes.
But flip it. In March, it has dropped to 18 plus 19. And it's come all the way from 18, 19 back to 30 and rising. Shouldn't that be a source of worry? Shouldn't we be able to, because then if you just compare the beginning of the period and the end of the period, it may seem like we've got some relative turnaround. But there's consistent rising cost since it's flattened out at 18, 19% in March. Shouldn't that be a source of worry for all of us? And can we continue accumulating debt for this? And will it not, as we accumulate this debt, Are we not reversing all the benefits we got out of the domestic debt exchange? These are some of the worries that we have. And that's why we say, in as much as a lot of good has happened, hey, we got the IMF bailout done. We got some stability in. But it may be too positive a spin to say we've turned the corner. It may not be preparing Ghanaians for the difficult road ahead if we tell them we've turned the corner.
Okay.
It may just be difficult for everybody to plan if the headline is that we've turned the corner, and yet the numbers say something very different. The trends say something very different. They show that we still have a source of worry.
Okay. Well, this morning we're joined by Joe Jackson, who's Director of Operations of Dalex Finance, and Professor Godfrey Bokpin, Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School. We're discussing the review of the 2023 budget as presented by the Finance Minister yesterday in Parliament. Professor Bokpin, I mean, one interesting thing. Now, you've looked at, we've talked about our GDP growth being, revised to 1.5%. It was 2.8%. Now, this is a country whose population growth per year is at 2.1%.
Yeah.
If you were to look at the population growth alone, compared, for instance, even to our GDP growth for 2023, what does that tell you? Are we better off or we've become poorer?
No, it tells you the economy technically is in recession.
Oh, okay.
Once the rate of population growth exceeds rate of GDP growth, then in GDP per capita terms, your economy is in recession.
So this is an economy in recession, and thus cannot be said to have turned the corner, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that we agree with the minister that we've seen some level of relative stability. That the signal is there. But whether you could interpret that signal to mean you have turned the tide or you've turned the corner, that is problematic. That's what I'm saying, that you then need to look at all the variables. Remember, the economy is not just exchange rate. Of course, the exchange rate is also a reflection of the fundamentals. But even if you look at subdued import activity, traffic at the port has gone down, and all of that. We are not making payments on our external debt that preserves FX. We are also not making payments to the independent power producers the way we should, because all this has implications for our reserves and all of that. If you look at all of that, together with the rising, in fact, Mr. Joe Jackson made a point. If you look at the interest cost build up from money market instruments, that is worrying. That perhaps may be offsetting whatever gains we are making from the domestic debt deficit. And it's simply because the government, through the domestic debt exchange, was trying to introduce a new yield curve. Okay. That was what Mr. Joe Jackson was also talking about. The below 15%. As you can see now, that yield curve is difficult to enforce. Also because inflation is very high. In our part of the world, the relationship among inflation, interest rate, and exchange rate is very strong. And therefore, once government was introducing that new low yield curve at a time when inflation was that high, then it was going to be difficult for that new yield curve to work. And they made the attempt, actually, of dragging down the treasury bill rate in order to give meaning to the new yield curve, because the new yield curve reflects medium to long term. If medium to long term rate is lower than the short term rate, the yield curve is not normal. Okay, and so you could see that we've practically abandoned that yield curve, and now we are on a different path. That is problematic. So you need to look at all the variables and then you will be able to conclude that, yes, they are all turning for positive.
Okay.
And therefore, we have turned the corner. Let me give you another example. A couple of weeks ago, the Monetary Policy Committee of Bank of Ghana, is that okay?
Yes.
Had the opportunity to comprehensively review the economy, largely, both fiscal, monetary, all of that. And they concluded that the risk, the balance of the risk, was more towards inflation. And therefore, they decided to increase the policy rate by 50 basis points to 30%. This is a reflection. This is the understanding of the central bank. Do you get the point?
Sure.
So it's the same economy. It's the same economy. So, yes, I know that if you are, as a manager, you are in a hurry, especially when you see positive news, you want to be able to convey that to the market. And it's also good, because managing the economy is also about managing expectations. But we need to be very careful, because the data broadly must support the conclusion.
Okay.
And under this circumstance, I think that we are not out of the woods yet. That's my considered view.
Great.
Now, at the same time, I acknowledge that we've seen some progress. We've seen the effect of the IMF program. We've seen the impact of the fiscal consolidation. But we also need to bear in mind that if we are talking about recovery, that recovery must respond to poverty dynamics, inequality, must respond broadly, must preserve fiscal space for the private sector. Because if you see, the private sector, they're overburdened with taxes. Ghanaians are overburdened with taxes. That is not the only thing. The domestic debt exchange has also impaired the balance sheet of household and private sector. It didn't even spare Bank of Ghana. If you put all these things together, it tells you that, as I said earlier, the recovery will be slow. It will be costly.
Great. Before we go for a break, Professor Bokwing, I was asking Joe Jackson the same question. When we come back, then we'll look at the monetary policy, because Joe Jackson has a lot to say, and some of the things he would have expected to hear from the finance minister also. But we've talked about a reduction in expenditure, cutting down on expenditure. The minister has reported today that we've reduced our total expenditure for the year from 227 billion to 206 billion. Good news?
Hello,
Professor Bokwing? Yes.
No. You know what? It's not every expenditure the country should cut. There are some expenditure cuts that will hurt growth.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some expenditure cuts that will promote growth.
Okay.
If you look at the IMF supported program, the planned expenditure cuts under the program are the ones that will hurt growth. The kind of expenditure cuts Ghana desperately needs, the political class don't want to do that. And therefore, when we cut down on CAPEX, which is rather critical to stimulate growth, we use that one as the headline story. When we limit wage bill, we limit hiring, and therefore we make fiscal savings, or we rationalize goods and services budgets and make savings, then we say that, we are making progress on expenditure cuts. No. Those expenditure cuts, because there's conventional wisdom for government to spend to stimulate growth. And we are clear on that. And we will support government if they spend in those lines. But the huge governance cost, which inhibit growth, those are the areas we want the expenditure cuts to go. But so far, government in negotiating the IMF supported program have preserved all those expenditure lines. And therefore, we sacrifice that which should have been scaled up, in order to promote growth. And that is why you see some economists will talk about the fact that we are not even spending optimally to stimulate growth. So for them, they may not buy into the idea that you are cutting expenditure. But the idea is that the kind of expenditure you cut and the kind of expenditure you increase matters for growth. And Ghana has chosen the wrong approach. Okay. That is unfortunate. Okay? Because if we are not reforming state-owned enterprises in order to make fiscal savings from that, and central government costs across ministries, department, agencies remain elevated as we have it here, then it doesn't matter the level of taxes you impose. It will still not amount to much in promoting growth spending. And that is why, Winston, we are saying that it is not entirely true that Ghana has failed to develop to the level we all desire simply because we are not collecting enough tax revenue. It's not true. Because if you look at our tax to GDP ratio and you compare that to Malaysia and Singapore, you will see that the marginality is not that much. So if you do the modeling, you will see that in the last 15 years, the last 20 years, the amount of taxes we have collected relative to the size of the economy, if we were prudent and explored efficiency in our public investment management process, the development outcome would have been more desirable than what we have now.
Okay.
So it is not the case. And that is where, by design, we have a problem with the IMF supported program, where the conclusion is that low domestic revenue is to be blamed. And that is why the program design has more than 50% of the fiscal savings coming from revenue enhancement and just 2.1% coming from expenditure. And even the expenditure is not the kind of expenditure cut we had hoped. Okay. This is Ghana's problem. Okay. And that is why you can look at all this and say that, look, so far as I'm concerned, since 1992, and all the programs we've had with the IMF, you come to the conclusion that the problem is largely governance. It is the governance failures that manifest explicitly in economic mismanagement, corruption, that sends us to the farm as often as possible. If the problem is largely governance, the solution must reflect the source of the problem. But you see that, and also in the IMF supported program, the problem is largely governance, but the solution is more financial and economic.
Can you hold on for me, Prof? I mean, we'll come back and explore. Prof, please hold on 1 minute for me. We'll come back and explore all of these because the other point, the other angle to the discussion is that, post-2023 budget presentation in May, in the midst of the debt exchange, part of the argument was that we should be looking at, cutting discretionary expenditure, part of which is actually goods and services and CAPEX, capital expenditure. What has changed now? And we'll also focus on the things, for instance, the monetary policy, some of the things that Joe Jackson wanted to hear the finance minister talk more about. This morning, we're joined by Joe Jackson, Director of Operations, Dalex Finance, and Professor Godfrey Bokping, who is Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School. We're analyzing the minister's mid-year review as presented to Parliament yesterday. We'll be right back.
Introducing Pick 4 from Game Park Games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Pick 4 numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times a day to become one of our daily winners. More moolah, more power. Play online at www.gameparkgames.com or dial *946# to play. Game Park Games is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Pick 4 from Game Park Games. More moolah, more power.
What? It seems Royal Foam did not get the memo. Times are tough. Prices are going up. They're giving 10% discount, free pillows with every purchase. Hey, Royal Foam. Just when you thought all they manufacture are
quality but affordable mattresses and pillows? They take it up a notch by being thoughtful in these hard times. Royal Foam has reduced their prices drastically. Buy a mattress, get a free pillow. Enjoy 10% discount instantly, nationwide. Take advantage. Enjoy Royal Foam. Enjoy the best.
Call Royal Foam today on 020-227-1000 for more information.
Royal Foam. Rest assured.
Are you looking for an early introduction to STEAM for your child? Yeah, STEAM education. I mean, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. STEAM. If yes, then enroll your child at Sparks Learning Experience, located at the beautiful mountains of Brekusu, close to Ashesi University. Our core curriculum offers an integral approach to computer programming and AI, virtual reality, drone piloting, 3D design and printing, and robotics. We provide supportive preschool, elementary, and after-school opportunities that help build up the confidence of your wards. Sparks provides transportation system for commuting students. We also have first-class boarding facilities for students at all levels. With our excellent facilitators and our able co-founder, Professor Fred McBaconlori, recipient of the 2008 U.S. Black Engineer of the Year and President of Academic City, your ward is a step away from genius. Contact us via 0550-036-606 or 0550-036-221. Email us via sparkslearning@gmail.com. Sparks is spelled SPARX. Visit us on the internet via sparkslx.com.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302-200-390 or 059-692-0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Prepare yourself for an unparalleled experience of divine revelation and spiritual empowerment. Greater Works 2023. Speakers, Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Mike Okonkwo, and your host, Pastor Mensa Otabil. Date, Monday 31st July to Friday 4th August. Morning sessions from Tuesday 1st August to Friday 4th August. Time, 9 a.m. Evening sessions. Time, 5 p.m. each night. Venue, Christ Temple East, Teshi. Buses will be available at vantage points across the city to convey you to and back from the conference. Visit gwcentral.org for more details. Greater Works. Ignite your faith. Transform your life.
It's coming down.
After successfully hosting the Achimota Mall Clinic of the 2023 edition of the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, we are again gearing up for the second clinic at the West Hills Mall. Date, Friday 4th to Sunday 6th August 2023. Venue, West Hills Mall. Time, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. This year's exhibition is under the theme Home Ownership, Affordability, Comfort or Luxury. Visit the clinic and engage the providers in the housing value chain on all your housing needs. Be it financing, land acquisition, rent to own, outright purchase, roofing, lighting, electronic appliances, home security, or home furnishing. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is your one-stop shop for everything housing. For exhibition enquiries, please call 0540-110-389 or 0244-260-653.
There will be daily giveaways by the sponsors. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and the Plant City Extension Project, Rent to Own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited, where quality meets value. Global Lighting, your solution to quality lighting. Syntex Tanks, Air Strong, Air Tough. Gold Key Properties, building prestige since 1997, and Springfield Estates, where dreams are built.
It's the most action-packed breakfast show in town. The hottest music, the best giveaways, the great interviews, and all the laughter and fun you can imagine. Don't miss the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. It's the best breakfast show in town.
Converse is also true. Idea we hear here, second to me, welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy, and we're talking to Joe Jackson and Professor Godfred Bokpin. We're doing a bit of a review of the mid-year review, if you will. Trying to see if the numbers match the message. And so far, we've determined that our guests certainly don't think we've turned a corner. They agree with some of the numbers that were shared, but not the conclusions, if you will. And we're picking up even more in just a moment. But first, good morning to all our friends at Safari Valley Eco Park. Those guys are running a tight ship there. It's an amazing experience. You need to take your family to go and experience it for yourself, okay? They've got an amazingly harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife. You can find all kinds of animals there: zebra, sable antelope, llama, wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara, among others. They've even got some wildebeest that they brought in recently. Yeah, so everyone can come and experience these majestic creatures at a starting price of 250 Ghana cedis. It's free for children up to 6 years, and it's only an hour's drive out of Accra. They're open from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. each day. Go visit Safari Valley Eco Park with your friends and family today for the thrill of a lifetime. For more information, go visit safariValleyResort.com. Check out Safari Valley on Instagram or call 059 691 4394.
So are you sinking in your bed? Is your mattress failing to give you the safety and comfort you deserve? Then get yourself a Royal Foam mattress which guarantees you good sleep and the relaxation you deserve today. As pace setters, we've attached pillows to the mattresses you buy for free. Get this offer in all our showrooms and sales outlets across the country. Don't be left out. Royal Foam wishes to say a big thank you to you, all their loyal customers, for making them win the Silver Award at the 12th Ghana Business and Financial Services Excellence Awards. Please call Royal Foam on 020-227-1000 for enquiries. Royal Foam, rest assured.
All right, now, for those of you who like plenty of school and education and all of that, the PhD people, you can now experience the excellence and global recognition of a British education combined with convenience and affordability at Lancaster University, Ghana. Expand your horizons and elevate your career prospects with a British degree delivered right to your doorstep. Apply now and embark on a transformative educational journey that will shape your future. Admissions are currently open for the October 2023 intake. So if you want to know more, just go to lancaster.edu.gh, email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh, or call 030-221-8989. You can also try 020-960-7008. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
So it began yesterday, the Greater Works, ICGC's Greater Works 2023. And speaking of this year's events are Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Bishop Michael Konko, and host Pastor Mensa Otabil. You know there will be song ministration from the various ICGC choirs, CT Praise, and other talented ICGC musicians. So yesterday's session, that's the evening session, started at 5 p.m. It will continue today, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. But of course, the morning sessions are beginning today at 9 a.m. Venue is the ICGC Christ Temple East Auditorium, Teshi. Buses will be available at vantage points across the city to convey you to and back from the conference. Visit gwcentral.org and all ICGC social media handles for more details. Greater Works, ignite your faith, transform your life. Okay, so let's get back to the conversation. And we have Joe Jackson, Director of Operations, Dalex Finance, and Professor Godfred Bokwing, who is Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana Business School. Now, Professor Bokwing, before the break, you're talking about, cutting down in areas that would not promote growth, for instance. But the point is that, in December 2022, we're having a conversation. We all talked about why we didn't understand that from, capital expenditure budget of 13 billion in 2022, we're jumping to 27 billion in 2023, more than 100% increase. If there's a cut on that, what's wrong, Professor Bokwing?
So, yes, when you are operating an austerity budget, fiscal consolidation, and you scale up a budget line item that much, it raises concern whether it's in line with the broad objective.
Okay.
But if we are talking about expenditure cut, and we were clear that not just a wholesale expenditure cut, because there are some expenditure cuts that will hurt growth. The position we are coming from is that the cost of operationalizing our democracy is too much. Across central government, general government, including ministries, departments, agencies, state-owned enterprises, it's too much and it's unbearable. That is the angle we need to look at. And that is why we are calling for governance reforms, which may also entail probably revision to our constitution. The lawyers can look at that so that we begin to fashion or operationalize a kind of democracy that is sustainable, that does not impose so much cost on taxpayers, private sector, households, that allows private sector to continue to run their businesses and grow and expand for households to also be able to accommodate or maximize their utility. That is the way to go without compromising our democracy. Because the way we are going, there's the urgent need to save Ghana's democracy from itself.
How?
Because the cost of operationalizing our democracy is becoming unbearable to private sector and households.
So how do we save our democracy from our democracy?
So we need to look at how we are operationalizing our democracy. We are not proposing an alternative per se, but we have to make democracy work for development.
How?
And that's why we have to look at the governance cost, serious governance reforms. And we have said boldly that we should get to the point where we shouldn't have more than 40 ministers. If any government thinks that they cannot govern with 40, they should step aside.
That's understood. But the point you make, let me just get back to the KPES budget here, because, yes, you say when it increases by 100%, that is problematic. And so if you agree that is problematic, you might as well, do you also agree that a cut would not be problematic?
So it's more serious if the cut is applied to the neglect of the critical expenditure cut that needed to be done to promote growth. You'll be more concerned. You are majoring on the minor.
Okay. Let me bring in Joe Jackson at this point, because Joe Jackson, you've talked about the monetary policy. Yes, now at 30%, at the last meeting increased by 50 basis points because, again, inflation had started going up and they wanted to send a signal. What is it that you're expecting the finance minister to say about that he didn't say?
Okay. Now, there are a number of things we should think about. First of all, the challenge with inflation is food. Food inflation is what is killing us.
Sure.
And that's why we all feel it so keenly, because I don't think there's anybody in this country who can avoid the cost of food. Now, the second thing is this food inflation especially is all run in the informal sector. And we already know the size of the informal sector in Ghana. So can inflation be brought down in this particular set of circumstances by addressing a monetary policy rate that mainly works through the banks? Who?
Tell me, can
in
it?
The food sector, what percentage of the food sector are actually taking any form of credit from the banks? How big is our informal sector? So I dare say that the monetary sector is punishing the formal sector without really doing anything to bring inflation down. And what some of us were hoping was that there will be some initiative, for example, to improve farm gate to market pricing for our goods. There'll be some immediate initiatives that would work towards reducing the price of food in the market. That didn't happen. And how long are we going to keep increasing this monetary policy rate, which is punishing the financial sector, punishing the private sector, especially the formal part? We are now at 30%. Are we going to take it as high as 40% if inflation doesn't come down? Those are real questions. And some of us believe that we should relook at the issue of using this particular tool to fight inflation. And inflation in particular is of absolute importance. Every one of us feels the effect. The pensioners, their incomes have been eroded completely by inflation. Listen, it's a tough one. I do agree that there are very tough policy choices to be made, but some, like inflation, which affect each and every one of us, I think should be at the top, and we should be exploring alternatives to simply asking the central bank to continue to increase the monetary policy rate as a way in which to fight inflation. In any case, this is the same central bank that has been pumping out money to the government in deficit financing. So it seems like we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Thankfully, that loophole seems to have been closed. The central bank has impaired its own balance sheet. So that is a loophole that's been closed. But listen, the money was pumped in, and it's going to take time to clear out, especially since, as we stand, we may even look at the immediate past events of certain politicians having a lot of money in foreign currency in their households as being an indication that in addition to the large informal sector we have, we also have given an incentive to our citizens to keep cash, because everybody who's been involved in the financial sector has either had money locked down because of the financial sector cleanup, or have lost money because of a domestic debt exchange program, or have lost money because of a cocoa bond program. So really, all we're doing is giving people an incentive to keep cash out of the system.
Okay.
So long as there's so much cash out of the system, then this monetary policy thing won't work. It's out of, because it works only through the banks.
All right.
So it's time to look at it and see what we can do beyond just a simple appeal to say, take your money to the bank, but to bring back confidence so that our monetary policy can hope to work. In any case, it's not working. We should explore alternatives. Raising that monetary policy rate is not right. And it's easy for the finance minister to tell us that interest rates are falling. But the monetary policy rate has gone to 7%. I don't know which interest rates are falling.
Let me bring in Professor Bokping at this point as we wrap up the conversation. Professor Bokping, you think that we have to probably change our ways of increasing the monetary policy? Maybe we look at something else in our way of tackling inflation?
Well, I sympathize with the position of Mr. Joe Jackson and many Ghanaians, but I think the conceptualization is that it takes more than just monetary policy to bring inflation down, and I think that has to be clear. We have the pull and the push. So monetary policy largely can address the demand-related inflationary pressures.
Yes.
Demand-related. So the dynamics we have right now reflect the supply-side constraints or structural bottlenecks in the economy. So the part of the inflation that is as a result of this, we cannot blame that on the central bank. We will be asking too much from monetary policy perspective in addressing the issue. And that is why when the pressure mounts on the central bank, the only tool they have largely will be to increase the policy rate. And that doesn't comprehensively address the issue. The fiscal side has failed to do its part. So before we learn to the call of changing the monetary policy framework, move away from inflation targeting, we need to understand where the difficulties have come from and whether the change would actually be enough to overcome the weakness from the fiscal side. Okay, and if you see the Minister of Finance in the media review is talking about the fact that the complementarity between fiscal and monetary is something that they are going to pursue. And you can see that the motion had already been set, right, with the memorandum of understanding between the central bank and then the Ministry of Finance with the zero financing of the budget deficit. It is this fiscal dominance of monetary policy that has resulted in destroying the balance sheet of the central bank we spoke about earlier. The central bank's overexposure to the government and quasi-government institutions is what has brought them this far. Essentially, they have compromised their operational independence. They sold their birthright to the government, and the result is the balance sheet they are now presiding over. So until we get the fiscal side doing its work and complementing monetary policy, is going to be difficult. You know, Winston, under inflation targeting, one key requirement for inflation targeting to be effective is rather outside the control of the central bank. Interestingly, that is how the design is. What is that thing? For inflation targeting to be effective, you will need to guarantee the central bank fiscal discipline. Look at that. And the fiscal discipline, the monetary side don't have control over it. That is the political side of the economy. So if you deny the central bank fiscal discipline, then there is no way they will be able to deploy monetary policy effectively to bring down inflation and engineer growth. This has been Ghana's problem. So therefore, what have we done? Instead of pursuing monetary policy and fiscal policy as complementing each other, we are rather pursuing monetary policy as subordinate to fiscal policy. Let me put it in a way that we can understand. we have practically, in fact, since inflation targeting started, unofficially March 2002 and officially 2007, we have essentially used monetary policy as a broom to sweep the mess created by the fiscal side. This is all that we have been doing.
Okay.
We have pursued monetary policy as subordinate. So you see, in the balance, the central bank is a servant to the Minister of Finance. The result of that is the impaired balance sheet. Now we have to deal with.
Professor Bob King, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning. We're very grateful to you. Of course, the conversation would continue, particularly when it comes to the Bank of Ghana and its financials. That's something we'll have to talk about later on. Thank you also, Joe Jackson, Director of Operations, Dalex Finance, for making time to speak to us this morning. We're grateful to all of you. Coming up, it's a conversation about Habitat Fair. What do you prefer? Affordability, comfort, or luxury? It's all about our second clinic at West Hills Mall. We'll be right back.
My people, Philadelphia. Our very own Adansi Travels is 10 years old. I hope you remember what they did on their 5th anniversary with a 555 figure and even the power of 8.
Then this will be a 10-day thing.
That is right. We are going on a 10-day adventure in Dubai on a chartered Emirates flight full of Adansi travelers from 10th to 19th August. And starting from $1,650, you can be part of this Adansi-licious 10th anniversary tour. The rate covers flight, hotel accommodation, breakfast, visa, airport transfer, tours, and Adansi at 10 mega party at Dubai Desert Camp with the legendary Samini.
Adansi Travelers Tour. It survived the 10th anniversary. Don't know, be a part of this.
You can pay a minimum of $500 to book your seat and pay the rest till 15th July. Contact Adansi Travels now on 0595 500 817 or 055 631 0404 to book your spot now. Adansi Travels. Feel life's beauty.
Are you hoping to start university this October? If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and 50% scholarships to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless opportunities globally. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apply to join Lancaster University Ghana, where learners become leaders. Admissions are currently open for our October 2023 intakes. Apply now for our foundation and undergraduate programs. For more information, contact us on +233 030 221 8989 or send an email to admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Introducing Pick 4 from Game Park Games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Pick 4 numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times a day to become one of our daily winners. More moolah, more power. Play online at www.gameparkgames.com or dial *946# to play. Game Park Games is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. Pick 4 from Game Park Games. More moolah, more power.
This is gonna last. Joy 99.7 FM brings you another Joy Family Forum dubbed Becoming Mr. and Mrs. All You Need to Know Before Marriage. A breakfast meeting for singles led by Home Affairs and hosted by yours truly, Adam Knight T. Our guest speakers for the day are Ghana's favorite uncle, Uncle Lebo White, and Reverend Mrs. Rita Kranche Ankra, First Lady of the Royal House Chapel. Mrs. Theresa Riafia Sante Mama T, Ariel the Wellness Coach, Kobina Tabedu, PG Sabah, Sebastian, lawyer Kwekuyamwa Pinto, and a host of other seasoned relationship coaches and counselors will all be in attendance. You get to enjoy a good buffet breakfast, giveaways, networking, and other fun activities at a cool rate of 150 Ghana cedis per head and 250 for two. Venue is the Best Western Plus Hotel, Nungwa. Time is 6 a.m. through to 10 a.m. and the date is 12 August 2023. Please reserve your spots now. Call or WhatsApp 059-288-9986 for your reservations. This event is supported by Best Western Plus Hotel, Nungwa, Ship Healthcare Specialist Medical Center, Nish, Goba Kente, and Marie Noel's Spa and Salon. Becoming Mr. and Mrs. All you need to know before marriage.
Go Ghana. Are you struggling to pay your huge rent advance? Do you wish to pay your rent on monthly basis? Then good news is here. The government of Ghana has introduced the National Rental Assistance Scheme to help Ghanaians, especially the youth, pay for their rent on a monthly basis. To qualify, an applicant must show proof of the following minimum requirements. Be a Ghanaian, possess a valid Ghana card. You must be an adult of 18 years and above, have a verifiable employment or earned income. To apply, visit www.nras.gov.gh. The scheme is currently operational in the following regions: Greater Accra Region, Ashanti Region, Eastern Region, Western Region, Bono East Region, and the Northern Region. For further inquiries, contact 0551 341 515 or 0550 408 879. National Rental Assistance Scheme, making renting accessible for all.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
I live here. It's my house and I live here. There's a welcome mat at the door. And if you come on in, you're gonna get much more. There's my chair. I put it there. Everything you see is with love and care. It's my house and I live here. I want to tell you.
It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm sure you know what time it is. Is that period where we encourage you. Listen, we want you to own a house. We want you to have a second, third house as an investment, perhaps. And this year, the EcoBank Habitat Fair, the theme is affordability, comfort, or luxury. And I have said I'm in the zone of comfort and luxury this time around. We have our second clinic happening this weekend, starting Friday 4th to the 6th of August at the West Hills Mall, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have our headline sponsor, EcoBank. They'll tell us what's in stock for us this weekend at the West Hills Mall. Winston Wobble is head Advantage Banking at EcoBank Ghana PLC. Good morning to you, Winston.
Good morning, Mama V.
You're good?
I'm very good. Yourself?
I am very well, thank you. So after at Achimota Mall, we're going to West Hills Mall. But you know, this year we're going with the theme affordability, comfort, or luxury. What is it at EcoBank? How can you help us achieve this theme of ours of affordability, comfort, or luxury?
Thank you, Mama V. Good morning to your listeners as well, and good morning to the rest of Ghana. So, you know, just before we came on air, we were having this discussion, our private discussion, and you just mentioned it. Now you put yourself where luxury, right?
Yes, luxury for me.
Yes, and then, so we at EcoBank, we realize that, and we keep on saying this, that for each individual, at any point in time, you would find yourself at a certain particular phase.
Right.
And what we seek to do is that for each phase that you find yourself, we'll make sure that we support you. So, for instance, if we are talking affordability, so how do we do? How do we make sure that whatever you are acquiring is affordable? And what we do in this regard is that when we are providing finance for you, one of the key things we are looking at is your debt service ratio.
Please explain that.
So when we say your debt service ratio, what you earn versus what you spend in servicing a facility when you take with us, when you take a facility with us. And that is key because we also want to make sure that you are comfortable. And then as we say, based on where you find yourself. And at this point, as we speak, there are people who have taken their mortgages, they've paid for some years. Maybe they need to do a makeover of the house, they need to do a renovation. Or maybe for those who say, okay, at the point when I was getting my house, it was all about affordability, what I could afford. Now I think I'm a bit okay. I need to move a bit closer to my workplace,
Right.
Maybe to where the kids' school are, something. And now we are looking, so that makes it your comfort, because it's no more about what I can afford.
Right.
It's about how comfortable I am living where I do. And so we provide financing options for you based on where you find yourself.
Right.
So we are looking at things like a traditional mortgage, your personal loan, your buy now, pay later. And that's the interesting thing, the buy now, pay later, which allows you to acquire certain household essentials.
Right.
And we are talking about things like your furnishing, like your kitchen. Someone said, oh, I want to make over my washroom, my bathroom.
Yes. That sounds like my story.
Yes, so we provide short-term financing options to allow you to do all these things without really putting a stress on your finances at the same time.
Okay. So if I've been using the same kitchen maybe for 10 years now and I want a makeover, what can EcoBank or what will EcoBank do for me?
Okay, so here's the thing. We, through these fairs, as we all know, we've had very good partnerships with some of these companies who handle like a kitchen.
Right.
Yes, like kitchens, like accessories. So you just go there, you pick your item, and then you bring the invoice to us. We pay for you, and you're allowed up to 12 months to repay whilst your kitchen is done for you.
Oh, okay. So if I'm looking for a fridge, maybe a double door, I go and get the invoice from a supplier that you do business with.
Exactly.
And then you make the payments. I have 12 months to pay back to EcoBank. And what if I already have a facility with EcoBank?
Yes, so if you already have a facility with EcoBank, we'll still look at how much you are using to service your existing facility and see how we can tie it in.
Right.
And there are times when you realize maybe you might have some investment with us, but you really don't want to touch that investment. Probably you've done some treasury bill, you've done some fixed deposits, but you actually want to keep this. But then you tell us, look, per my current earnings, this is how much I'm earning. If you look at it typically, it means I've hit my maximum. But perhaps I have some other sources of income coming through. I'm sure they are going to come through. But just in case it doesn't come through, when the loan is due and I'm not able to service it or the expected inflows don't come through, perhaps you can take a part of my investment to offset. So that is how you get to let your money work for you, your investment work for you whilst it sits there.
Right.
Or you say, okay, fine. Come when the loan is due, and whatever monies I was expecting came through. So then you don't touch my investment. So
Right.
that's also another way we could look at it. And then maybe Mama V, you have some gigs lined up that you've done your
Amen.
projections, they are confirmed. We can add all that because it's all part of your income. That is what you do.
Right.
So we do that assessment and then we are allowed to do the financing for you.
Right. Listen, if you just joined us, of course, this is Joy FM. This is the Super Morning Show. And I'm talking to Winston Wobble. He's head Advantage Banking at EcoBank Ghana PLC. We're talking about the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair. This weekend, we're all going to the West Hills Mall for the second clinic from the 4th to the 6th of August. It will open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And EcoBank is telling us about one, they have a mortgage facility that you can take, but then they also have the consumer finance. That's just what Winston has been explaining, where, for instance, you're looking for furnishing, you want to change something in your kitchen, or you want to redo your bathroom, for instance. They would link you up with a supplier, and then they would make the payments. All you have to do is just get the supplier to supply, and then you have a bit of time to pay that money, which is
That's
12
right.
months. That's like a short-term facility. How often can you do it?
Oh, you can do it as soon as you finish paying the first one. You can actually go for something else.
Right. So is this a deal that when our listeners and our viewers come to the West Hills Mall, they can close with EcoBank?
That's right. That's right. Once
Okay.
you come to the West Hills Mall, we can close it.
Right. Well, before we wrap up, we also want to hear about the mortgage facilities that you have.
Yes, so you know our good old mortgage that enables us to finance you up to 20 years or the number of years you have to go on retirement, whichever is shorter. And then you have a maximum, you allow a maximum of up to $350,000 in a CD equivalent.
Right.
But the catch here is that your monthly deduction should not exceed 50% of your net monthly salary.
Right.
Once that is done, you choose any property of your liking. We are not restrictive. We would not restrict you to specific developers or specific properties.
Even though you have developers that you have.
Yes, we have our partner developers.
Right.
Yes. So with our partner developers, what we've done is that these are developers that we've done repeat transactions with. So, for instance, if you are getting a property from them, we are sure of who owns the land. So when it comes to land documentation, because we vetted them over and over again,
Right.
so we are very confident that once we are financing a property from them, it's safe. So usually with our partner developers, you would have your loan or your transaction going through faster. But that doesn't mean that we'll restrict you to only those partner developers.
Right.
Any other developer, once you come over, we are certainly able to assist you.
Okay. So who would you deal with?
Yes, so you mean for the customers?
If you're not a customer, if you're a customer, what's the specific group of people who can take advantage of these offers?
Okay, so we are looking at salaried employees.
Okay.
Yes, once you're a salaried worker with the, or in some cases, other employees, self-employed, who have like very, you can actually predict your earnings.
Okay.
We are able to look, but we are looking at salaried employees.
Right. Okay. Because you're perhaps looking for maybe consistency.
Consistency, yes,
All right.
in your earnings.
Okay. So give us, just before we wrap up, a reason for our listeners to come to the West Hills Mall this weekend.
So this weekend, as we said, affordability, comfort, or luxury. You want to find the answers? Come over to the West Hills Mall.
Okay, personal question. What is it for you? Because I chose, I'm between comfort and luxury. Where are you?
Perhaps I'm in between all those three.
All right, affordability, comfort, or luxury. That's what it's all about. And listen, if you talk to people who have participated in our fairs in the past, they will tell you, sometimes it's just a dream. You're thinking that, oh, I want to do this, but I don't have it now. And so you stay back. But if you come to the fair, you begin to have conversations with the vendors. And then you begin to realize that, oh, no, this is not necessarily a long-term vision. It's actually something that I can start now, because you can actually get a land and start something by yourself. We have developers who would develop the land for you. There are also houses. If you're building yourself, then you can also get items for your home. And what's more, we have EcoBank. So all these deals that Winston has talked to us about is something that you can also take advantage of. These days it's hard to do like your own cash from your pockets. So if EcoBank wants to take the burden off you and give you time to pay back, why not? So please come by the West Hills Mall this Friday to Sunday, 6th of August, and let's have a conversation. It all starts with just a conversation. So Winston, we'll see you at the West Hills Mall.
That's right.
This weekend, EcoBank is representing. And if you want to take advantage of that double salary thing, please come and open a salaried account at the West Hills Mall.
Yes, that's right.
And take advantage of that one. That's my target. So Winston, thank you so much. Winston is the head Advantage Banking at EcoBank Ghana PLC. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show. We're grateful to all our partners: Elegant Homes, Syntex, Gold Key Properties, Global Lighting Center. Stay with us. More to come here on the Super Morning Show.